Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jaimie Wolfe, and I will be your game master, and welcome to Fire in the Dark, a Blades in the Dark actual play filled with morally dubious scoundrels of all types and on all sides, and a darkness with a bright hope and a little bit of fire thrown in the mix. I'm joined today by some wonderful cast members that I will get to introduce you to in a second, but before we do, I'm going to preface a couple of things. One, this is a dark fantasy, and that can be seen through a lot of the themes. There's going to be dark themes as well as mentions of drugs, violence, and other adult themes. If that is not your penchant and not to your tastes, we invite you to, there are other shows on Huntsmen's Hydra to enjoy with a lighter edge and a lighter tone and more fantasy vibe. But if this is just to be aware of the kinds of things that we're going to be here, there will be at all times a trigger warning on screen as well as one that cycles in the chat. But moving on beyond that, I have the joy and honor of introducing you to some absolutely wonderful players today, starting with the incredible Pixie Parker.
Hi, my name's Parker. My pronouns are she, they, and I'll be playing Asher Claw, who also uses she, they.
And of course, the one and only real John Downey.
Hello, I am John Downey, he, him, and I'll be playing Mort, who is also he, him.
The handsome and fabulous Rue.
Hello, my name is Rue. I use they or he pronouns, and I will be playing Silas Crow Heartroot, who uses who uses Z or he pronouns, depending on where you've met them.
And of course, the well-steeped Ice Cold Brew.
Hi there, I'm Cole, aka Ice Cold Brew. My pronouns are he, him, they, them.
And as previously mentioned, I am Jaimie. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be serving as your game master and playing the variety of scoundrels that these fair folk have the honor or displeasure of hanging out with. And before we begin, I want to throw one thank you to our fabulous producer, Brandon Ashcraft, aka AshenWorks, one of the founders of Huntsmen's Hydra and a wonderful streamer in his own right. But with the cast introduced and all things underway, let's begin, as all tales in Duskfall do, in the dark. There are few places of calm to be found in the lamplit streets and fog-blessed canals of Duskfall, and fewer still that aren't simply a deception for the unwary. But it is one of those rare moments of calm that we currently find ourselves, as a group of fellows sit gathered about a brine-soaked table aboard a softly rocking vessel in the canals just south of Charter Hall. One of these fellows is a large man sitting in a chair 2 sizes too small for him and nervously fingering a small, perfectly fashioned comb made of bone. John, would you please introduce your character?
Mort is a mountain of a man. He is pretty much as tall as he is wide, and he's got many scars on mostly on his arms that you can see. He's always wearing a knit cap, a collared shirt, suspenders, and some well-worn work boots. And in this moment, you see him very focused, kind of weirdly too focused on the comb that he's sort of picking the dirt out from under his nails with.
And next to Mort, in stark contrast to his size, is a smaller, lither individual nervously flicking a tin coin back and forth over their knuckles and eyeing the crudely drawn map of the city on the table. Parker.
So, very much in stark contrast to Mort. While Mort is a giant, Asher is quite the opposite. Coming in at maybe 5'1", that might be a lie, we're not entirely certain. Bright, orange, fiery hair peeking out from a hood as they play with it. She's dressed up all in just dark clothes, all layers upon layers, hiding any number of whatever she might be hiding on her body. And she just fidgets carefully.
And on the other side of the table, there is an incredibly well-dressed, or at the very least well-groomed man, whose eyes belie a sense of snake-like cunning and calculated desire. Cole.
So we see Tristaro Valentine sitting there. Their pronouns are he, they, and they are looking over the table, and they just look over at Mort and just say, "Can you please stop messing with the comb? You're gonna break it at some point. It's a little bit distracting, please."
Yeah, absolutely. And he tucks it into the pocket on his shirt, and then he just eyes the dirt that he couldn't get out from under his nail. He's just looking at it.
And he takes off his jacket, really long, big leather duster looking jacket, and just scratches his red beard as he continues to look over the map, trying to think about what next to do.
And sitting just above Tristaro in the rafters of the boat that they call their headquarters, half hidden in the shadow but with a presence felt by all, Rue.
I was almost muted. Crow is... I'm not going to wear this the whole stream. It would impact my ability to do things. But Crow is always wearing this when you see him. He's sitting... He's about... I'd say about 5'5", 5'6", but usually crouched or hunched over in some way, so you wouldn't be able to quite tell how tall he is. Presently, he's sitting up on the rafters with one knee pulled up under his chin and sort of just looking down at the map from up above. And anytime you look up to ask him a question, his eyes have flicked to a different color as he's looking over the map.
And as they look over the map, all eyes turn to a very nervous, dapper-looking professorial man sitting at the head of the table, carefully balancing a penknife and rotating it between his fingers. And it's his voice, Professor Archibald Dalmore IV, or Archie, as they've come to call him, which breaks the lull. Oh, right. So, first things first. Obviously, we've had a bit of a lovely breakthrough with the garnering of the apparatus, as it were, the distillery, which we so rightly desired, and I thank you again for acquiring that for me. Before I proceed any further into kind of hearkening, would you find it necessary for me to fully outlay the full extent of our venture here, as it were?
Yeah, I think that's probably in your best interest here.
I would find that helpful.
Right. So we, as a collective, have come together, of course, because of the, for lack of a better word, infestation of pyro, or honest, I truly, it's Formula 451, an unfortunate toxin bastardization of my own works, my own creation, as you know, to create this inflammatory, incendiary drug, I guess, is the only really viable word to be used here, that has flooded the streets. It's already caused a number of incidents and taken more lives than I'm comfortable with. That said, what we have proposed in the meantime is this venture, this idea is it to find a way to push Murmur, to push Murmur, our own product, in order to usurp Pyro off the streets, or at very least to turn attention away from it, so that we can more easily and accurately focus our plans to deal with it in a more long-term, meaningful way. And thus we come to, this whole endeavor, as it were, the Murmur Venture Project, as we've chosen to call ourselves. So in that kind of vein, we have, as previously stated, acquired that distillery, which you got from the Dimmer sisters for not unreasonable price, really, I think. What did they want, a spoon?
More or less, yeah. It
Right.
was an adventure to say the least.
Right, of course. So, obviously the next step of the plan would be to actually start manufacturing, of course. However, in the vein of doing that, you usually need to have a, let's call it, steady supply of reagents in the manufacturing. Something that, for the large part, we have, save for one particular reagent that we have not managed to get a stem, a line on, per se, as it were. That said, before you think all is lost, for it is not, I promise. I have secured a meeting with an individual who could provide this through line for us, who could provide this missing reagent to actually start generalized manufacture, and then we can get into the real meat and potatoes of this business, as it were, and to start actually, trying to run the gambit. Yes? Sorry, not fully up to date on your lingo. I'm just here to provide the funds. And, obviously the brilliance. So, to that end, I have, of course, invited this individual here because they have stated a willingness in exchange for a favor. However, they have been remarkably vague on the nature of that favor, I suppose I should say. And so that they are coming here to fully outline the details of what it is they wish from you, because it's obviously very illegal based on what they've been saying. And I have no expertise in that matter other than our little consortium, as it were. So, any questions?
Archie, are you uncomfortable around us?
You? I don't know. From you particularly, Asher, I just get the general vibe that I need to, tie my purse strings inside my pants instead of on the outside. But other than that, you don't give me generally stabby vibes that I would be afraid of.
And the rest of us?
You're terrifying. Mort is he does like a big, like he's like going to do like when you do like the hourglass thing on a body, but he just kind of does like a square.
Yeah.
Large.
Yeah.
And that's intimidating in its own right, as you would probably expect. And well, Tristaro is, Tristaro.
Virtually handsome, beautiful, clever, smart. Keep going.
He looks like me, so it's a little more comfortable.
Oh, I'm actually going to take that as an insult.
Oh, I was trying to say that you're remarkably well dressed, and you seem to keep a stiff upper lip about it all, and you just indulge at a fine glass of wine and a cigar, and have a generally intellectual bend about you, kind of a thing.
I'm going to gently, from my rafter that I'm on, just like brush some of the dust down so that it lands on his shoulders.
Kind of just his entire body tenses up for just a second.
Archie, implying the rest of us aren't well dressed.
Mort
Mort
have a
is,
unique sense of fashion.
I will say, Mort, you're looking more well groomed than usual recently.
Mort's gonna reach out as he's addressing him, and just brush the dust off of his shoulder, and just simply say, "Thanks."
His entire body goes very tense, and like he kind of shrinks a little bit, and like you can feel the fear through his shoulder. He's like, please don't break my shoulder. Please don't break my shoulder. Please don't break my shoulder. Right. Anyway, any relevant questions, I guess, before our guest arrives?
Okay, so your friend's coming here then, right?
That was kind of
Yes.
my first. It
Yeah.
was like when and where, but if it's
Yes.
here and now, then that's helpful.
It's kind of at least it's, it's kind of an arrive on their own time situation, but I was given a general window. So,
Asher looks up to Mort. Are we supposed to be giving out the location of, our boat?
Well, I mean, if we feel like we're getting a little too heated, we can always just move it.
Sure.
it is a boat. And there's a lot of canals. Also, isn't this boat stolen in the first place anyway?
Wouldn't you
Good
like
catch.
to know?
That's a need to know you do not need to know.
Fair enough.
Was there anything else about this person we should be aware of?
I've never met them in person, only by reputation and through missive. So,
And you told them where our boat was, and you told them that we operate out of a boat.
Well, look, it's my first time setting up one of these, really.
We know.
Should this been should I establish this at a tavern kind of situation, or kind of
There's a coffee shop like 3 blocks down. We could have just met there.
She will consider this like a learning opportunity for you.
Right. Maybe in the future, just I'll send notes and the like, and then you can help me look over them, kind of a thing. Right.
Also
Fair.
depends on the power dynamic. If we're intimidated by them, we would probably want third-party witnesses around, and if not, maybe we want a more private setting. Just things to think about.
But it's funny, Mort, as you say that, Silas, you are the first to sense it. Like an oncoming storm making its way. You can feel ripples of electricity through the ghost field as it arches its way in and around the boat. And for the first time in a very long time, Silas, you feel like a rat in a cage.
I think perhaps our company may have arrived. If it is not who we are expecting, then it is even worse.
The rest of you, the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand on end. And there's just a very soft, barely able to be heard tapping of feet that makes its way up the gangplank and into your hold. Standing in front of you is an individual not too much larger than Asher in stature, with vibrant hair that goes in a variety of purples that is pulled back into a ponytail. Their face is covered in a mask, half of which seems almost as though it's made out of mottled muscle, the other half ceramic. And you can see that at one time this mask has been cracked and then repaired with gold through the cracks to put it back into place. They stand there, the face of the mask, 2 large, hollow black eyes, and a crooked smile too wide for it that stretches from end to end with shining teeth. And through the black eye sockets, you can just make out the lights of bright orange eyes with multiple pupils shining through, looking at you. And they stand there with that unnatural smile, arms crossed behind their back, with perfect poise. Hello, and good evening, everyone. Silas, as this person steps in, the metaphor of a storm stepping aboard is appropriate. But now, with your closer attunement to the ghost field than any of your fellows, this storm cloud in particular smells like it is made of blood hanging around this person and crackling with static energy.
Mort, as soon as they step in and sort of say hello, as soon as they're done, Mort's going to stand up and pull off his knit cap and go over and say, "Mort, good to meet you."
The
And
masked
that is
individual looks at you. Ah, a proper gentleman. Reaches out a hand and takes it. You may call me Echo. And as their hand grips yours, you sense that live strength that you're used to sensing from Asher in the times that you've interacted with Asher. And as the hand pulls away, you can feel the gentle scrape of a knife blade that is just up the sleeve, and are able to intuit that they did that on purpose so that you know that it is there. A
Good to meet
pleasure.
you. He'll sit back down.
Tristaro will stand up, nod, offer a hand, and say, "Name's Wax. Welcome aboard."
As previously stated, Echo, they say, taking your hand and giving it a soft shake in similar fashion.
Mhm.
Mort hears the code name come out of Tristaro's mouth and just, oh, damn it.
Asher stands up but does not approach Echo, kind of stays on the other side of the table where they're at, and just inclines their head. Nice to meet you, Echo. I'm Spectre.
Pleasure.
And Crow will drop down from the rafters and just sort of gently land on the balls of their feet about next to where Asha is, and incline their head and the beak of the mask. And he says, "Crow, it's a pleasure to have you."
Echo again inclines the head and says, well met, Take, which means kinsman in Taikarosi.
Well met.
Now,
Oh.
I am
Offer a
not
chair.
one. No, thank you. I'm not one to beat around the bush. I am simply one to get straight to business. Your patron, Echo inclines their head to the back of the room where Archie is, has asked me to secure a line on a rather rare substance that is costly but well within my abilities. Now that said, it does come at a price. One for which also, not only would I expect a favor, but at least some margin of continuing relationship. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say. And of course, you would be well compensated in turn. In fact, let's start with compensation, because beyond simply the endeavor that you're undergoing here and the through line that I have promised to Archibald, I'm also offering you for this favor 8 coin and a personal favor of my own. If at any point there is anyone that you need to make disappear, no questions asked, it will happen.
That is a very good favor, especially in Dustfall.
Very useful.
Mhm. So, in order to obtain this resource, how would you prefer us to go about it?
Oh, I'll be obtaining the resource. You don't need to mind about that. I'll be making sure it's delivered post-haste with probably on the weekly to make sure I keep your stocks. What I need from you is obviously a very dangerous favor that is worthy of such a reward.
I was going to say you must need something quite badly to offer a favor in return.
It's not so much of something I need badly, so much as repaying a debt to someone else.
Okay. Tell us about it.
I need you to help out a friend of mine. A friend of mine who has landed themselves a life sentence in Ironhook. I'm asking you to break into the most fortified prison in all of Doskval and spring a prisoner. And I won't cut corners on you. I'm asking you to break into one of the most fortified prisons in all of Doskval to spring a serial killer.
Right.
Yes.
This is a favor from you to someone else that you owe?
I owe this unfortunate incarcerated and their brother quite a lot, actually.
So then who's the incarcerated?
You can call him Skag. Skag the Knife was what we used to call him.
Do we get a description or anything so we can, make sure we get the right one?
Maybe
Short.
a cell number or something along those lines?
Yeah.
If I knew a cell number, it would be substantially easier, wouldn't it?
Well, you gotta ask.
Yes. He's rather short. Shorter even than you. He inclines his head at you, Asher. Thick-bodied. I don't know how many knives he was able to keep on him in prison or how many he's been able to make, but you generally be able to pick him out by the vast assortment of them on his body. Let's see, what else? Generally bad attitude. Lip piercings. Very bright eyes, but not Tycherosi. No, he's a Scovelander. Light hair, fairer complexion.
Would Tristaro know anything about Skag the Knife and past history at all?
You may... You know what? I'm going to call that a basic gather information. So, what skill do you think you would have used to gather that information in the past?
I would say this is a consort, just like reaching out to people about backgrounds and trying to get information that way. Just like general, oh, have you heard about this guy? Have you seen this guy running around anywhere? Stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. I think consort works. It's just, standard across the board, risky standard in terms of everything.
Oh,
hey!
The good
Roll
first
a
roll.
6.
That's a good first roll. That is a 6.
The only 6 I will get tonight.
And this is specifically for Skag the Knife, correct?
Yes. Just trying to remember any kind of history, considering Tristaro worked on the docks with other Scovelanders at one point. So that name might have popped up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were at the same bar at one point, which would be awkward.
Okay, slight technical difficulties. You know how stream softwares like to crash at times and that lovely thing. Anyway, yes, so a 6 on the roll. You got a 6 on your gathering information in terms of Skag the Knife. Speaking specifically around the docks, actually, again, Skag the Knife, you actually hear more about in conjunction to his brother in terms of dock work. Varan the Hammer, or just Varan around the docks, really, is pretty well known for being, honestly, a Mort type of individual. Large, strong, gets things done, takes odd jobs on the side, moving cargo around the docks, but was well known for breaking faces with fists and a quite literal hammer at times. And it was well known that he was a member of a group of assassins by the name of the Damned, alongside his brother, his older and much shorter brother, Skag the Knife. Skag the Knife was known for being stabby, is the best way to put it. And after an illustrious career as an assassin, it apparently wasn't enough for him, and he ended up on a spree as a serial killer for fun more than for hire, which is what landed him his current incarceration. Harkening back to what you remember now, you also remember that there were at least 2 other core members of the Damned, one of which is standing in front of you.
So I'm guessing you owe the favor to the hammer then.
Well, to both of them, to be honest. They've done a lot for me over the years, and it would be remiss on me not to repay in kind and at least putting in the fair effort to spring an old friend.
For sure. We all pay our debts.
Indeed, whether they're in coin or in blood.
Mm-hmm. Now, for this breakout, is there a specific way you would like it handled? Do you want a mark left behind? Do you want a certain guard to be blamed? Do you how can we sweeten the deal for you, Echo?
I want to sweeten the deal. Make them think Skag is dead.
Okay.
If you can do that, I'll throw an extra 2 coin on top. Which is a hefty sum for your outfit.
That would definitely be your money's worth. For a very, very, I'm not going to say a difficult job, because we all know that people have broken out of Iron Hook before. If it was a first, then it'd be difficult.
Yes. People have broken out of Iron Hook before. People have also ended up on the wrong end of a blade in Iron Hook before. And those blades weren't always made out of metal.
You can be on the wrong end of a blade anywhere in this city.
You, I like.
How do we know that springing this Skag won't end up with us on the wrong end of the blade? If he's got however many on him.
Skag is ruthless, but fair, is the thing. If you've done him a favor, as long as you don't cross him, he won't touch you.
Right. And, we just have to spring him, we don't have to bring him anywhere?
If you get him out, trust me, he's a whirlwind on his own. He'll find his own way out. You just have to get him out of this prison.
Right.
I would generally, like I said, I don't know where he is, but I would expect some form of isolation. For fear of, losing half the general population.
Yeah. That's what I reckon too. Right. And a very strange question, but I feel the need to ask. There's no potentially haunted spoon involved in this, is there?
Question.
Potentially haunted spoons are not something that I've personally dealt with before.
Perfect.
But,
Then I think we'll be good.
The one time I don't come with you for a job and it's a haunted spoon.
Really could have used you.
You didn't miss much. Burnt down a warehouse, lost a fight, won multiple fights. Nothing new.
Mort won all the fights, and Wax and I nearly lost multiple, so...
That job is actually why I endeavored to actually even take this meeting. I've heard good things about you through the various through lines, and you hear just the vaguest echoed moan of a ghost in the background.
I will never get used to that. Okay.
Right.
No one ever does.
What's our
And-
time frame?
Yeah.
Skag's not going anywhere. He has a life sentence. But
Good
the
point.
sooner you get it done, the sooner you get your supplies.
I take it we don't really need to contact you once he's out. You'll just know.
You couldn't if you tried.
That's what I thought.
But the money and and a card for the favor, you'll find dead dropped at a lovely little venture that I actually own, a coffee shop 3 blocks down.
Perfect. Right. Asher just kind of looks around at the rest of them. Any other questions, yeah?
None that I can think of.
Do you know if there's any specific guards who have it out for Skag, or any specific gangs that would want to ensure Skag gets killed in prison?
The Bluecoats. The Bluecoats do not like Skag, not simply because he is a serial killer, but because he has actually, on multiple cases and endeavors, exploited them.
Oh, I like this guy more. Suddenly.
Same. Oddly enough, that's endearing.
Skag grows on you like a lesion.
All right. And just to get everything out on the table, in order to get our supplies and the promise pay of 8 coin, our job is to break out Skag the Knife, a member of the Damned, and then if we wanted a little extra coin, fake his death. He, him, right? For Skag?
Skag is he, they, I believe.
Got it.
But he is the preference.
Got it. And then we will, from there, we will be able to continue our venture and, of course, have the promise of extra work from you, Echo.
Indeed.
All right. I'm very glad to make this deal with you, and if everyone else in my party agrees, we'll take the job.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
In which case, should you require anything else from me or need anything, as I said, I am rather difficult to find, but I'll leave you away. And kind of rolls up their sleeve. And you see them trace a finger up the forearm, and you watch as a sliver of bone from their own arm pulls out of their own volition. And then it rests just atop their hand in the shape of a whistle.
I really appreciate a person who can do bones, and I'm going to take the whistle and pass it immediately over to Crow.
Yes,
Crow-
well, I had a very good teacher in that manner of how to do those particular tricks.
Well, you have learned very well, it seems. This is nicely made.
Yes. And then I very swiftly made sure that no one else could learn it.
Mm.
In any case, I bid you a good day. He says, addressing all of you. This whole conversation has not addressed Archie once. Turns and steps out. And as they leave, it is like all of the air rushes back into the room. And many of you let loose a breath you didn't know you were holding in your chest.
One of those is Mort for sure. And as that breath is let out, he sort of stumbles with a passing wave from the canal, and then immediately runs up and vomits off of the side of the boat. And then walks back down. I don't know why we chose boat.
To be fair, at least we don't have to clean up the floor after that. Archie, you really know how to pick them.
I was gonna say, Archie. Mate,
Need
what?
certain ingredients, and you seem to do so well with the Dimmer sisters. I thought that maybe,
Archie.
What?
The Dimmer sisters are like a mild flavor. You went for like clear grain alcohol with this person.
Look, in order the main ingredient that I need a through line on in order to continue our work is a specially refined form of ectoplasm. And the best way to get that is from a person who literally assassinates ghosts for a living.
That explains a lot.
Crow, how are you feeling about this?
Do you know when you go into the canals after a particularly long day at the factory and they are covered in that skim of oil on the top?
Yeah.
That, but imagine my skin.
I'd rather not right
But,
now.
But I will say, I think they are interesting.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, I think personally that they were rather rude.
Archie, no. We're just gonna...
Archie, I feel like
Teach
it's
you
better
the
for
right way.
you in the long run not to be acknowledged in the room. I feel like that's safer for you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now that the general cordial greetings with our new supplier have been underway, I suppose I'll leave you to do your thing. And if you need anything from me, you know where to find me. I'll just be in my office getting things ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Cheers.
Cheers,
and Archie
Archie.
kind of
Hi, Archie.
just steps away.
Next time, letters. Letters, we make a meeting place, not the fucking boat.
Off the boat meetings would be nice.
Coffee shop
Also, if you maybe want to send a message to them, just something about discretion about the location and situation of our little our little house here, be ideal.
Fair? Given how little they acknowledged me, I don't know how much good that would do.
Coffee
Yeah,
shop
but
or bring us treats next time, Archie.
Would you prefer donuts or danishes?
Danishes.
Beignets.
Ooh.
Ben.
Okay, beignets. I will see if they have any beignets. Not at the coffee shop 3 blocks down, apparently. And Archie makes his way back into Charter Hall, where he is a professor at the university there. One that actually, now that I think about it, Crow, you might have interacted with before, at least at a distance.
Yeah, I think it is obvious when Archie is here that Crow is even more careful about keeping his mask very much in front of his face, and his hair very far forward and down.
Indeed. In fact, I would go so far as to say you've actually taken probably 2 of Archie's classes before, because he teaches esoteric mathematics.
Yeah, Silas has certainly taken that class.
But suffice to say, so the job is set. The patron has offered the coin. Now is into the planning phase, the gathering of information. What are you lot thinking you'd like to do to get ready for this? Not the actual plan itself, because that's what the engagement role and all that is for, but rather, how are you preparing? What information are you gathering? What things are you doing to personally prepare yourself to find your ways into breaking someone out of Ironhook?
Excellent question.
Sorry. Would I perhaps have the ability to, like, through the ghost field, contact a ghost of someone that has tried to escape Ironhook?
I would say that that is possible. Yes, I think that is within your power. The question is, do you want to try to do that on your ship? Or
No.
okay.
That was more. That
Get rid
was
of the
more
ghost
of
on
a,
the ship.
God.
That was more of like a. Is that a thing I could do, or does that require too much background knowledge, sort of thing?
No, I think that is a thing that would be within your power. I think that you would know that the best places to do that is that there are specific parlors actually for interacting with ghosts in Silkshore. Some of these parlors are catered to people who like to be possessed as a form of pastime, as a literal out of body experience, as to get away from it all. Others are parlors more dedicated to people like you who interact with the supernatural. You also know that in terms of on the other side of things, you could also venture into Six Towers. There are plenty of places where it is easier to conjure and talk. You just also know that with any incident in raising the dead, there comes a certain risk. So we have Crow, who is thinking of contacting a ghost. What about the rest of you? What are you thinking?
I would pitch to Parker. I bet I could find out where some of these Ironhook guards hang out and what the security is like. Would you be willing to help me, like, snatch a badge off one of them?
Oh yeah, that sounds right up my alley.
All right.
So Tristaro and Asher are interested in going in, finding basically the cop bar equivalent of the prison guards of Ironhook and potentially snatching a badge. What about Mort?
Well, I'm thinking that, I mean, we talked about there being other people who have broken out of this particular prison, so I'm trying to think if there's a way to find out more information about, like, whatever the most recent breakout was, to see if we can maybe emulate some of those techniques, I guess, to make it this a little bit easier, or to know what they would have most recently patched about their system.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of where or how in particular are you going about trying to find that information?
That's the trick, because that's where my mind is right now, and I'm not really sure how to patch those together.
We'll come back to you. We'll start with Crow. Crow, where are you thinking of doing this raising of the dead?
It is a haunt of mine that I prefer to go to, so I will be going over to Six Towers instead.
So you make your way over to Six Towers, possibly actually not that far from where you actually live in Six Towers. Going to, it's almost like a wolf returning to a den, really, or a crow coming to roost, as it were. Finding a comfortable space and kind of conjuring the energies and reaching out to the ghost field, kind of trying to shake off that still oil slick feeling left behind by interacting with Echo and reattune yourself to where you're most comfortable. Why don't you go ahead and give me an attune roll? I'm going to say that since you're doing this as a gather information and it's just in a familiar place, it's still just a risky standard.
Okay.
Another 6. Okay.
Oh gosh. The same exact roll. That's wild.
Yeah, we got the same thing. That's really weird.
A 5 and a 6, yeah. So, yeah. So you reach out trying to specifically compel the ghost of someone from Ironhook. And after a momentary attempt, a vague specter starts to come into light, and it's the rattling of chains that you hear first, like someone walking with chains on their body. Very Marley and Ebenezer Scrooge
right.
Christmas Carol kind of situation. And then as that kind of ominous chains starts to come through, it's suddenly interrupted by a what the fuck?
Good evening.
Evening? What's the difference? looks
Here
dark
not
as shit.
much. Yeah, it is not different.
Darker than usual. Where's the street lamps?
Oh, there are none here.
Yeah.
But it is better. Easier to hide. May I have your name?
Hell no, I know how your kind work. You can't have it.
Something to call you then.
Rick.
I was wondering if perhaps you could tell me what it was like trying to get out of there, out of Ironhook.
Why should I?
Why should you?
Yeah.
Do you want to be stuck here?
Hell no.
Then that is why you should.
Eh. You're kind of shitty. Don't even play nice. All right. Ironhook, huh? Spent most of my life in there. You know how it goes when you're a thief but not very good at it. It's just the way it is.
They like to put us all in little boxes, don't they?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Turns out I'm a much better person on the inside than I was on the outside. Gathering information, getting all the lowdown. It's very good at connecting the dots in prison rather than out of prison, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I had a pretty comfortable life for myself in there. Till I bit it with 3 shivs in the back.
From your fellow inmates or from the guards?
It's hard to say. Didn't get a good look at the face of the person who did it since it was in the back kind of a thing. But I pissed off a fair number of both in my time there, but made a lot of friends too, so I imagine whoever did it got what's coming to them.
That is good to know at least.
Yeah. Anyway, you're talking about getting out, right?
Yeah.
Well, shit, there's all kinds of ways of getting out of Ironhook if you really want to. You can, there's the furnace, if you like. They turn it off for about 30 minutes every day. Once it's cool enough, you got about a 5 to 10 minute window in there that you could climb right up the top out into the roof. It's big enough. Just be better damn good at climbing if you're gonna do that. Otherwise, up like a light. You got a real short sentence then. Alternatively, I suppose there's bribes. Though, depending on how much they want to keep you inside, depends on how much the bribe is gonna be to get you out, kind of a thing.
Naturally, yeah.
Beyond that, there's been a variety of tunnels that have been dug and filled back in and dug again and filled back in. So there's probably some structural weaknesses somewhere. I didn't really get investigated into that too much, but you could probably find one. But for someone of your ilk, I guess, it's always finding a ghost store.
I suppose there are lots of them there, huh? How many people have died in Iron?
Yeah, it's not so much about how many people have died, see there. That's more, it's like the memory of a building that's been renovated so many times. It's the memory. People remember that a door used to be there. And if you think about it hard enough, you think about it long enough, that door's still there if enough people think it should be.
Yeah,
You just
like the
have to have the right
houses,
key.
like the houses here.
Yeah. Shit, yeah. Anyway, in terms of getting out of Ironhook, those are probably your safest bets. I've seen all kinds of wild attempts over the years. One guy tried to make a paraglider out of raincoats. Did not end well for him. He got about 3 feet and then 30 feet down.
Not a good
Another
way
guy
to go.
tried the old bed sheets trick. Turns out there's not a lot of friction in bed sheets, and when you tie knots between them, they kind of go slip. He got about 5 feet and then 30 feet down. Someone tried to just jump off the roof into the river, not knowing that at a high enough velocity, water is basically concrete. So, he just went 30 feet down and then like another 10 to the bottom of the canal.
I must say, I do not think 30 feet down is a good way to leave the prison.
Nope. 30 feet down is a good way to end up another extra 6 feet under.
Yeah. Or 10 if it's the canal.
Yeah. Anyway, good enough for you. Can I go?
Yeah, and Crow will take from like the mask that they wear, one of the feathers off of his mask and like gently like hand it over to the ghost and say, I do appreciate what you have done. If you ever need help, you can ask for it. I may not be able to give it, but you can ask.
Been a while since one of you wispy folks gave me a token, and I've been dead a long time. I remember you, Crow. And he and the feather fade out of existence. So go ahead and add Rick, Ironhook convict, Ironhook ghost to your strange friends.
All right.
Tristaro and Asher. Tristaro, finding out where all the prison guards for Ironhook hang out actually isn't that hard. Unsurprisingly, it is the closest bar to Ironhook in Coleridge, across the bridge.
That's the third one I was going to say just follow the smell of pigs and you'll find them.
No. That's how you find the Blue Coat headquarters in Charter Hall. Anyway, so yeah, if you in Coleridge, it's literally the bar across the bridge. It's called the Bridgeside Tavern.
I feel like I would have instinctively followed Tristaro and Asher, like just because he would have felt uncomfortable being too far away from them, I think, especially without a clear plan in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I think about it, I feel like I could probably maybe overhear or get somebody to talk. If I went to a cop bar, I feel like I could get somebody to give information about a recent break-in from the horse's mouth, basically. So it might not be the worst idea for me to just go with them if I would be allowed to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I mean, obviously it's probably up to them, but
sure.
Mort has just like that friendly face. You can't help but just like say every issue of your workday and just all the problems going on around the prison and what insecurities there are around the outside that makes it really easy for someone to break in.
I want you to know that's the
Or
problem
think
I
so.
have in real life.
Same.
I was gonna say, Mort's got bartender vibes. Let's just stick him behind
Yeah.
the bar. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll just get a
I am-
part-time job.
Just get you like a nice black shirt, collar,
Yeah.
put an apron around your waist. There you go. You're good.
Fine.
So getting to the Bridgeside bar, pretty simple, actually. Just take a quick chariot ride over there. Stepping up to the bar itself. Tristaro, Asher, you both go inside. Pretty even-handedly, not a problem. Step in. Easy as pie. Mort, before you step in, you side glance over, maybe it's just act of chance, maybe it's little hairs on the back of your neck still tingling after seeing Echo, but maybe it's the paranoia. You don't know. You've been in this life long enough. Glancing over, you see, chilling against an alley, a very large man. It takes you a second to recognize him because he is a bear of a man. That is Bear, the second in command of the Foghounds. The gang that you have now stolen a boat from twice.
Yeah.
And he is watching you.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yes. Great. I think knowing that he would have been, I mean, he's clearly spotted me and I've clearly spotted him. I think I'm going to avoid eye contact and decide to stay out in front. Like I would like to, I mean, I've been keeping a little bit of distance from my friends getting to this place. And I think seeing them go in and then sort of connecting with this person visually, I'm just gonna stay outside where I can sort of keep an eye on them and make sure that they don't do anything to mess up what my friends are doing inside.
Okay. So you're gonna kind of lurk on the near the stoop, as it were.
Yep.
Okay.
Stoop kid.
So you kind of do. So this is the thing: is you're larger than Bear, but not by much.
Right.
Only just kind of a situation. And the memory of fighting the Foghounds in their headquarters is still fresh in your mind, though it was but a week ago. And he does not move.
I'm just
Tristaro,
gonna pull.
Asher.
I pull a cigarette and light it and just hang.
Tristaro, Asher. Stepping aside, yeah, everything about this just screams cop bar kind of a thing. Like, down to the fact that you can see on the wall, you think you see a couple of like awards for the prison precinct kind of a thing, like that have been put up there, and like about 90% of the bottles that are against the back wall seem to be some form of whiskey. And then like the other 10% is like vodka. And then, you know, there appears to be a very hearty supply of beer. The majority of the people that are in here look to be gruff, middle-aged men. And they're all kind of, you know, chumming around, pal kind of things. Some of them are in a corner, clinking glasses, playing cards. A couple are sitting at the bar, seem to be discussing something. There's a couple of bartenders kind of working. And then there's like two over to the right that just kind of seem like bored with it all. And of course, there's the two bartenders.
Tristaro's gonna look around, just kind of look around the room, see if he recognizes anyone, and then they're gonna make eye contact with a somewhat taller individual, very shaved head, like very close cut, mustache, you know, the kind. and see if they can make eye contact with him. As soon as they make eye contact, Tristaro's going to give the biggest shit-eating grin and say, "Peek, buddy! Hey, friend, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the docks in a while. How's it been going?" And just kind of walk over and make a signal at the bartender for like 3 more drinks if Peek is around any other cops at all, any other guards.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What kind of a role would that be, I wonder?
I imagine that would be a sway to like persuade this guy.
Is
Be like,
very
"Oh, God."
in the moment. So yeah, I would agree. I think this is more of a sway to kind of get your way. That's kind of the moniker, and that is sway to get your way. Go ahead, give me a sway roll. I'm gonna say the risk here isn't super high. The worst that's really gonna happen to you here is you get tossed out on your ass, kind of a thing. Supposing, things go particularly bad. However, the effect, I'm going to say, is limited. You are in a cop bar surrounded by cops, conversing with someone who you vaguely have recognized, who is surrounded by their friends. So go ahead and give me that sway roll.
All right. You know what?
Keeping in mind, you do still have a bruised head.
Shit, I forgot about that. So that would give me no
Currently
effect,
have
so.
even less effect. So you can push yourself, or take a devil's bargain and trade the extra die for a boost in effect to have limited effect.
Could I actually pitch another idea?
Sure.
The person's name is Brock Peak, and they recognize me from they recognize me from my old days, and they used to buy from me, and therefore all the guards around know that I used to deal pyro. And so they are more than willing to kick my ass to make me shut the fuck up in case I'm trying to pull in a favor with their cop friend.
I like this devil's bargain.
And
Okay.
I'm going to switch it from risky to desperate if I can, if that's okay.
You know what? Yeah, you absolutely can. So go
Speed
ahead and
run.
mark that experience point in resolve for a desperate roll, and give me a desperate standard effect where you might literally get your shit kicked in.
Actually, I'm also going to use the stress to boost that to standard. There we go. And
It's already a standard effect because you
then to give me one more die.
Yeah. Oh, to give you one more die. Okay. Yep. Tristaro is starting this off strong with 4 stress, and we're not even in the job yet.
Nope, this is not good.
Nah, it's fine.
Gonna watch this go down.
I rolled a 4, by the way. That's my highest roll.
Yeah, Peak kind of. Wax. What are you doing here?
Hey, Peak. I just really wanted to catch up, see how you're doing, and offer to buy you and your friends a couple rounds of drinks. Maybe just have a conversation. Talk about the old days. I'm a different person. Can I meet your friends? Wax, good to meet all of you. You all look like fine, upstanding people.
I ain't on that side of things anymore, Wax. I don't deal on that side of the track.
Neither do I. I'm more looking into other opportunities,
What business you got coming into a bar like this?
Well, I want to really turn a new leaf And I figured a good way of doing that is putting in the time to find what other avenues I can follow. Find some new opportunities, maybe help you out here and there, you know?
You trying to get a line on a job in Iron Hook?
I mean, you know, if Iron Hook's where I'm called, who am I to say
Not
where I'm called upon?
exactly the side of the bars I pictured your scrawny ass on.
I mean, that, you know, neither did I. But a lot of things have changed for me. A lot of things have affected my life, and I see everything in a whole new life. Can I do a flashback real quick?
Sure.
I'm going to tell Parker there's going to be a fucking foolish Southern accent guard.
Okay.
You should totally pick his pocket because I'm pretty sure he's got a few sets of keys that will help us get into Iron Hook.
All right. You distract him enough, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say that's a thing that I'm gonna say that I don't think that's gonna cost you any stress. That's just an easy conversation before going into the bar with a person that you expected to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, sure. Yeah, I think you're definitely able to tell that to Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Asher, are you following up on that is the question.
As soon as I hear the accent, I'm kind of just watching Tristaro as he goes about doing enough of distraction, and I'm keeping an eye out for anybody else who happens to be watching. If all eyes are on Tristaro, though, that is when I will make a move towards seeing if I can't pick the pocket.
Okay. So that's gonna be a finesse.
Yeah.
To pull that out of his pocket. I will say I'm gonna say that you have, it's risky, but I'm gonna say your effect in this case is boosted to great because no one is looking at you.
Excellent. All right. Ooh.
That is a 2.
That did not go very well.
So you go to try to pick whatever this man has in his pocket, perhaps a set of keys, perhaps a badge, whatever happens to be there. It is at that unfortunate moment that the door opens into the tavern, and someone starts coming in directly line of sight, looking dead at you, able to full light of day.
Yeah.
Oi! What you doing there?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
And I'm gonna walk up and approach him, just to separate myself from the situation that Tristaro's got going on here.
Okay. So this man is built, obviously not Mort scale, to say the least. He's like 5'10", reasonably muscled, so still almost has a foot on you, kind of towering over.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
No, I know there's not, and like I look around to make sure that I'm not totally BSing here. I know there's not really a lot of pretty women that tend to come to this bar. This is how you're trying to get my attention now.
Give me a sway roll. Give me a sway roll. Risky standard.
Oh god. Okay.
Devil's bargain on the table here for you. Devil's bargain for an extra die. Regardless of how you roll here, he now thinks you're flirting with him.
Done. Bad for the wrong team, but it doesn't mean Asher's not going to pretend. So. Oh, good.
Let's
my God.
go.
Yes.
He turns beet red. He turns beet red immediately. And he like pulls the hat off the top of his head and is like, no, miss. My mama taught me better than that. No, that's, very sorry. I'm very sorry. I did not mean,
It's okay. I can see you're coming off of a long day, aren't you?
I am.
What?
Maybe let's maybe I buy you a drink. Yes, let's.
That sounds fantastic. I'm so sorry. What didn't catch your name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, thank you.
Jeff. You could call me Jeff. Jeff. Yes, Jeff. Oh, no hat. He kind of fixes his comb over a little bit. No hat.
Delighted
Jeff.
to meet you, Jeff. You can call me
Yes.
Lyra. Let's grab that drink, shall we?
Right. So y'all walk to the bar. In the meantime, in the corner,
Sorry, Tristaro.
Tristaro, you're still like, hey, guys, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh.
No. Wax. I don't rightfully believe you.
You know, considering my background and considering your background, that's probably a smart thing to do. I mean, you know, like I said, it's really hard to turn over a new leaf because you break trust with a lot of people. And it's hard to rebuild that trust, you know? But I'm saying with utmost sincerity, I really, I want to do something different.
Want to do something different, huh?
And I'm going to look at him with like a tear coming down my eye, like the life I led has fucked up everything I've ever had. I have lost people because of what I've done and what I've done to you.
All right. You know, I think I know something different that yeah, you could do. Make amends, kind of a thing. Better life. He stands up and similar to Jeff, about the same size, so larger than you, but he comes over to you, puts an arm around your shoulder, and starts leading you out of the tavern. You see, Tristaro, there's a lot of things that we go through in our lives. We all make decisions. We all choose our purpose eventually, and we all, at times, we're going to lose our way. But then, you know, generally, there's a light that guides us, leads us to where we're going, and we can find that purpose. And he leads you out of the tavern past Mort. So Mort, you can fully see this happening.
Not even making eye contact, more just like, but agreeing and nodding, just like another tear falling down, just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tristaro, he says as he leads you a kind of across the street. There's a lot of ways that we can make up for things in this life. Here's how you start. And he shoves you in the canal.
I would like to, as I am thrown in, I would like to filch the keys off of him if I see any prison keys on him.
Okay. Make me a finesse roll. This
sure.
is going to be desperate because you are literally clinging out as you are being thrown in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
go ahead and mark XP for that.
Yep. And I'm gonna go ahead and say standard, though. Standard effect, but desperate action.
All right, and I will mark it as limited.
No, desperate standard.
Yeah, but because I have the crack in the skull.
Oh, yep. You have the bruise on your head right now.
Yep. You know what? Actually, this is just a setup roll. I might have to trust Crow in the long run to have something planned. I'm hoping to make it easier. Yeah, fuck it. Whoop.
Oh my
It is
goodness.
a 1. So as you go desperately reaching out, trying to grab the keys, I did say it was desperate, so I'm a little sorry for this and a little not. You go to grab the keys, you miss. Instead, you slip your hand down and accidentally grab the pistol at his hip and pull the trigger, putting a bullet into his foot.
Oh. I am going to
And then you are in the canal.
Yep.
And as you hit the canal, Mort, you hear that gunshot go boom. And the guy who just threw Tristaro in the canal goes, son of a bitch! And he you see him start stamping his foot and screaming. And then you see him pulling that same pistol out of his belt and start cracking it open and pulling a bullet. Oh, you're dead now, motherfucker! You're dead now.
I'm gonna go up to him and say, "That's a nasty mark there, friend. We're gonna have to get you to somebody who can patch that up. Let's go." And I'm gonna grab his arm and put it over as over my shoulder as I guess this person could potentially be, and try and pull him into a dark alley, speaking as if I'm going to get them help.
That is a skirmish roll. You are skirmishing in this moment to get him out and away.
Okay.
It is a risky standard. Yes.
Okay. No bonus dice. Okay.
That is a 5. Okay. So you go to kind of lift him up and pick him up, and as you go to lift him up, he's obviously struggling wildly.
Yeah.
And as he's kind of struggling wildly, he's gonna be resisting you. And as he does, his gun comes down and he goes to slam into the side, and you hear a rib crack. Now, I would like everyone to remember that with consequences, you can resist them.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Yes.
All right.
I'm going to do that.
That would be. Are you going to use your armor?
Yes.
Okay. Or do you want to save it?
I kind of want to save the armor.
Okay. Then it would be a prowess roll.
Prowess roll.
Yep.
Okay. No bonus dice.
No bonus dice.
Okay, so 2. That's 2 stress, right?
No, you.
Or sorry.
You rolled a 4. Yeah, that's
Yes.
2 stress.
2 stress.
That is 2 stress that you take.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So as his gun comes down, you kind of it goes and slams into your rib, and you're like, bad bruise. But you shove it off and pull him into the alley.
All right, friend. Let's get you patched up.
As you're pulling him into the alley, unsurprisingly, a certain individual takes this opportunity while you are distracted, and a bat comes
son of a bitch.
slamming towards your chest. Basically, actually, probably your kneecaps. Where Bear, who has been watching this whole endeavor, comes cracking in, trying to take a swing at you. He's bringing No, I'll do a roll for Bear. We'll see how he does. Let me 2d6 skirmish risky standard. It's a 5 and a 6. So yeah, that is going to be another harm that you can resist if you want.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, sure. I'll resist another one.
Okay. And you're now technically skirmishing with 2 men.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one that I've got a pretty firm hold on, and I'm gonna swing around and slam into Bear with the body of this person.
So you're to put it simply, you're going to hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
I'm gonna hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. I have one arm here, and I'm gonna kind of where I have this arm around the shoulder, I'm gonna like pivot to be on their hip that's closest to me so I can get some purchase underneath them and throw them horizontally into bear.
All
So
right,
that's this attempt.
I'm gonna give you a choice: skirmish or wreck.
Wreck.
Wreck. Okay. Give me a wreck roll. It is this is well within your powers, Mort. This is something, not only have you done it before, you've done it multiple times. I think you did it to bear, actually.
I think so. I think I've made this specific move against bear, yeah.
You've done this specific move against bear. I am also realizing that I forgot something. And so I'm going to give you the benefit of that now. You have the bodyguard trait that gives you an extra die on your resistance rolls and extra effect when you're helping someone. You should have had that on your roll resisting for helping Tristaro earlier by taking the other guy. So I'm going to give it to you now. Go ahead and take an extra die, a bonus die, and you have extra effect. So that means your effect area is actually going to be risky great. If you want to really push it, you can go desperate extreme, get an experience point, and potentially have extreme effect.
I think I'm gonna stick with the great effect.
All right, so it's gonna be risky great.
Okay. And with one bonus die.
With one bonus die.
Spectacular.
That is a 6. All right. So you take this guy and you whip around, and despite having literally had you do this to him before, you slam this guy into bear, and you hear someone's bones break. You can't tell whose it is. It might be both. It might be one of them. It might be the other. Hard to say. Okay. All you know is that there is now a pile of man and blood on the ground in front of you, and you're just left going, well, this again.
So I guess those sisters didn't treat you so well, huh?
Now, Tristaro, you're left in the canal. Let's go back to Asher. Asher, you have a lovely time in the bar with Jeff. He buys you a couple of rounds, and is overall actually a gentleman. And eventually, unless you have anything you'd like to try here, allows you to, you just get to go your way.
Cool. In my discussions with him, do I find out if he happens to work at the prison or not?
Like many of the people here, he works at the prison, yes.
Cool. Okay. How many drinks has he had?
Roll me.
Just switching targets at this point. Sorry, Jeff.
Roll me a 1d6. Just hit roll fortune on your sheet and just 1d6. Just one. We'll see how many drinks he's had. One die. 6. He's had 6 drinks.
Hell yeah.
The man has had 6 drinks. So this man has had the equivalent of a full bottle of wine. Or in this case, about a third of a bottle of whiskey.
Perfect. Exactly how I like it. So then what I'm going to do...
You're very pretty.
No, you are, Jeff. I'm gonna have to head out. I have a sister to take care of. But thank you. This has been delightful getting to know you. And she's actually gonna go in to like hug him and do the whole like smooch on the cheek thing, but also try to see if she can steal keys at the same time.
Okay. Yeah. No. You're very nice. I haven't been on a date in 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no. Oh, we're gonna feel very guilty later.
You're very respectful to me. I appreciate it.
Jeff, you are delightful. You are a catch. You are. I mean, you've got a hardworking job. You put in the hours. You are clearly in great shape as well. You take care of yourself. And I mean,
it's really hard.
I know. This is.
I got 6 children I'll never see.
I know, and I'm so sorry. I don't remember all of their names right now. It's very difficult to get over that. I do recommend you should really see a therapist. You should really. I know.
Go ahead and give me a finesse roll. It's going to be a risky but great effect because he's very drunk.
Okay.
Mark Antony!
God, this poor boy.
Theodore! And Bob!
Okay. We're just gonna hopefully.
Okay.
4.
All right. Oh, what is the consequence here? Remember that you can resist it.
Yeah.
I think the consequence here is pretty straightforward. I think one of the bartenders sees you. It's pretty, yeah, the consequence here would be that one of the bartenders sees you. You're allowed to resist that if you like.
When I resist it, I take the chance of incurring more stress, correct?
Correct. When you resist a roll, what happens is you roll one of the 3 kind of resistance stats: prowess, resolve, or the last one that insight. Then I'll tell you which one it is you're rolling. And you take stress equal to 6 minus the highest number.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Hedging my bets because I still had leftover. I didn't heal all my stress the last time, so.
We know.
Oh yeah. We are gonna resist. We are going to play this dangerously.
Okay. But it's gonna be an insight resist.
Yes, good. I have 3 things in there. Oh my gosh.
Okay, you take 1 stress. All right, so you are able to pocket some of the keys. You have no idea what they go for. You have no idea how much authority this man has. All you know is that he needs to be a therapist and that he's very sad, but he does work at Ironhook.
You got something. We'll try it. And I'm gonna leave and head back to the. Actually, I'm gonna leave and see if I can find Tristaro. We'll meet again. Our paths will cross again, I'm sure.
I've got something that what will be, and I'm just kind of having to live with that. Oh.
I need to leave. Asher can only pretend for so much longer.
Just take him on the job with us. Let's just have him rob with us.
You leave in time to see Mort pulling a sopping wet Tristaro out of the canal.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, Tristaro, he's got that thick red beard and he's, well dressed. Currently, he looks like a drowned rat. He looks like a red-haired drowned rat. Hair is soaking wet and hanging very long around him, all over him. His
just
hat is
beard, squeezing it out.
His hat is crumbled. Mort has just kind of like picked him up and just put him over his shoulder. He's just like, all right, we're going. Okay.
You're all right, buddy. We'll get you dried off.
It's fine. It's fine.
What happened?
Where's Peak? I need to have a conversation with him real quick.
I look over to the alleyway, and what kind of scene are we looking at over there?
Blood, broken bone that has pierced through skin, unconscious men.
He might still be over there.
Asher scuttles over to go. If they're both unconscious, we're picking the pockets of the unconscious folk. Both
Okay.
of them.
Well, on Peak, you're able to pull, a badge of office for his job, as well as another set of keys.
Perfect. All the keys.
Going through Bear's pockets, you find a couple of, just minor things, cigarette lighter, kind of find a couple of blades on him. The bat is obviously on the side. Looks pretty broke currently. You also see that now that as injured as he is with his kind of shirt open, something you distinctly know was not there last time is that there is a mark that has been branded into his chest.
Can I think I would like to maybe sketch it in some sort of way to keep for later, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Like a little piece of paper, a little crumpled receipt.
Yeah. It does take a minute because it's like it's recognizable what it is. Just sketching it out takes a second. It is it's a stag with an arrow piercing through it.
Have we seen this before? No.
Well, I mean, you can check to see if you've seen it before. You could, if you want to do a gather information.
Sure. Why not?
All right. This is a very specific gather information, however. You can only get this information by attuning. So give that a try.
Okay. I mean, why not? Risky standard?
Yeah, it's risky standard.
No,
you have no dots in it, so it's 2 dice. Take the lowest.
Okay. Hey, that's
It's a
not
5
bad.
either way.
Amazing.
Wow.
You know, Mort, you think you have seen this mark before. And you remember why you've seen this mark before, actually, is the thing. It's because this mark was one of those pretty decorative things on the outside of the box of the spoon.
Yay.
Interesting. Good to know we have a demon inside bear.
I relay all of that realization to the group.
Really hoping we wouldn't see the return of that spoon demon.
Should So let me be perfectly honest. I got my ass kicked, and I am now deferring decisions to you for it at least a little while until I decide to have another shot of whiskey and then resolve myself. But should we just take them both? Because I feel like, and I'm pointing at Peak's body, this guy's gonna snitch on us and say we took his stuff.
Yeah, we should at least take Peak. The other
And
sort of keys
then-
I have, I don't know. The gentleman probably won't remember, so.
Yeah. And then Bear over here is a little bastard.
Yeah, I thought we handed him off to the sisters. I distinctly remember us dragging that head up some stairs.
I'm not really sure what he was thinking was going to happen given our history. But I don't imagine he'll come knocking again. At least if he's smart.
Well, do we want to use him as a bribery at all for the those lot that we pissed off the last time, Foghounds? Make him maybe a little less pissed off at us?
Yeah. Or alternatively, I can just tell him, hey, here's the deal. We don't mess with you. You never mess with us ever again.
It's true.
Yeah, you have your head on your shoulders for a reason.
Yeah. Because you, and I'm pointing at Mort, are a very kind, good-hearted soul.
You really are.
It's very
Seriously.
very nice. Thank you. I just Archie told me that I was intimidating, and I kind of took that hard, and I've been thinking about it ever since. So that's nice to hear.
Lord, darling.
Buddy. No. You are probably the kindest criminal I've ever met.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
You're very gentle. You have very gentle eyes. Archie's just scared. He's just a scaredy cat. That's how it is.
He's a fool. He's a goddamn
Really
dumbass.
is.
Seriously, who does not write letters
I know.
and takes it right to our base of operation?
Oh, I know.
Kind of having this conversation as you're dragging both of these bodies.
I was gonna
behind
say,
you.
100%.
while I'm saying Archie called me intimidating, I've been thinking about it. I'm lifting this guy over my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you're able to get back to the houseboat where Crow is just kind of sitting there waiting for you to get back. And when you enter with Tristaro, you're drier now,
Yeah.
but you're still kind of wet-ish,
And
damp.
I'm somehow bruised
burdened.
more.
Yeah, and like ragdog in terms of appearance with your hair and stuff. And Mort just comes in dragging 2 large men behind, unconscious, broken, bleeding large men behind him.
And Asher smells of whiskey.
Asher smells like whiskey and is twirling 2 different sets of keys around their finger.
So it went well. Yeah?
Yeah.
Par for the course.
Par for the course.
Are you okay?
No, No.
I'm great.
You look a little ruffled.
Yeah. I'm gonna go change real quick. We have keys. Parker, can you do me a favor? Third cabinet from the right. There should be blueprints of Ironhook there. That might help. And I'm gonna mark off that I have blueprints of Ironhook.
Okay. And with that and all of the pre-planning out of the way, we are going to take a break. So we will take a 10-minute break. Sound good for everyone? 10-minute break.
Sounds great.
We will take a 10-minute break, and we will be back. And at which point we will undergo the break into Ironhook. We'll see y'all then.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Welcome back. When we left our rogues, they had just fished one man out of the river and two more from the literal gutter, and are now in the last bits of their planning phase. And the question I have for all of you before we get into actually figuring out the engagement role of how you want to go about getting into the prison is actually what are you doing with Peak and Bear?
Full honesty, I wanted to pull them both into a ghost contract. For Peak, I wanted him to say, we will not harm you as long as you do not mention anything about our group. And to Bear, it's stop fucking with us, we'll stop fucking with you.
I would suggest, I think Mort would suggest if we're ditching the cop, forgetting his name briefly, before he wakes up, then I mean, there's no real need to like connect our group to him at all, because he's only really seen me. He thinks you're dumped in a canal. So I don't know how we feel about that, but
that might be a good point. Just like wait till he wakes up and just say, yeah. Well, if he's missing his keys, though,
missing his keys and badge, that's the problem. So like he'll have to report that in at some point, and we don't want that to happen before.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have an assortment of old keys that are not keys to the jail, but you could put on his belt, and if he's not very smart, he would not notice they don't work until later?
I mean, I would imagine
Probably.
Asher probably has like a pile of them somewhere that they've left it.
I imagine.
Yeah.
I
would
imagine
imagine.
Wax. Sorry. I was gonna say, I imagine Wax like goes over to a desk, pulls open a drawer with like assortment of keys, reaches through 3 of them, looks at them, goes, "These should be close enough, right?" And passes them off to Asher, or
Yeah, Asher, you're able to like take those 3 keys, and then you think for a second, and you like pull out some extra keys of your own from just previous heists you've done, and like, this person's dead, this person's broke, and just add them to the key ring. Yeah, you're able to put a respectable number of keys back in his pocket. He still doesn't have his badge though.
I know.
I mean, when he wakes up, I'm just gonna maybe I could just tell him he might have lost a couple things in the alleyway. I don't know. I mean,
that is the other thing. They have not woken up yet. You cracked them very good, Mort.
Mort, I feel like sometimes you're too effective.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
think
starting to feel that way.
I think you did a very good job.
Same.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
But I mean, perhaps if we just bring him to one of the like sort of alley clinics and drop him off anonymously, if he happened to drop his badge while you were carrying him from the bar to the clinic, that's not really your fault.
That's what I'm thinking as well. If he thinks that he just got taken from the alleyway directly to the clinic, then he's probably going to think it's just been fallen off on its own and not actually, you know, disappeared. So it's probably the best way to go about do it. I won't lie. If we were returning Bear at any point, I kind of wish it would be with him being unconscious, a bow wrapped around that shiny head of his, and a note saying, "Stop fucking with us." But maybe that's just me.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree. Dropping
Okay.
him sort of on his front stoop with a little note tied to his lapel. Just
So I think it'd be just a nice
So,
present.
you're welcome for getting him back in one piece. Love the Murmur Venture Project.
Mm-hmm.
So your general plan here is just to specify. You take Peak to the clinic, and Bear you tie up and drop on the Foghound's doorstep.
The
Unless-
PS from Wax that says "fuck off."
Okay. All right. Just to completely make sure I've got all the notes. You did tie up Bear, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
All right.
I wouldn't
I'm
have
just-
overseen that, but
Yeah. I just assume. Sorry. I don't want to assume
Yeah.
because this is very important.
Asher would have, having seen Mort pick up the body, even as they were like probably walking back to the boat, would have been like, okay, just like, can you slow down? Just slow down just a second. Just okay, there we go. Like starting to follow behind us, tying the knots. Not how
And
it sounds.
Mort, I assume you're the one delivering both individuals.
yes. Preferably I want. Yeah, I think I had to slow down a little bit to let Asher in there because I'm trying to avoid any potential like sight lines if these two people are to wake up and see my friends. I would rather them only be able to recognize me from the incident that we've just come from and not have to tie the rest of them into it.
Okay. So the rest of your friends, as they're planning, Peak is easy. You get him to a clinic as he's kind of waking up, and you're like, sorry about that. Just you got shot in the foot. I had to get you to clinic as fast as possible. Kind of a thing. Head trauma is a wonderful thing. He does not appear to assume or remember that you used him as a battering ram. And you
You know
kind
how
of
dark alleys go in Duskfall. I mean,
you drop him off at the clinic. Bear is another story. You carry Bear round the dark alleys of Duskfall, handing him off, trying to get him to the docks and the doorstep of the Foghounds that you had so inconveniently stolen a ship from before, as well as having previously stolen Bear and delivered his body to the Dimmer sisters. Not dead, just, unconscious and the like. You don't make it to the docks. As you're traveling with Bear over your shoulder, you begin to feel a strange warmth emanating off of him. And when you take a moment, you kind of curiously sling him over and look over, and you see that mark on his chest has gone from the inky black stag with an arrow to it is now started to glow a faint red and is giving off a strong heat. And as you're kind of inspecting that, there's a voice in your ear. It's been a long time since I had some prey delivered, wrapped in a bow. And Bear is pulled out of your arms and seized against a wall by a force. And down the alley, steps a figure who you have met once before, fedora on his head, just pulled over what you know is 7 glowing red eyes in a well-tailored suit with smoke coming out of his mouth with a lack of a cigarette.
Mort is going to pull his hat off, pull out the comb from his pocket, his breast pocket, and just do a little cleaning up on top. hold his hat close to his chest. Just good to see you again.
He doesn't respond, instead going up to the pinned body of Bear and kind of reaching up, turning his head side to side and laughing. You did a number on his body, boy.
Well,
good hunt. And he slaps you on the chest. You can feel the force of it as it slams into your chest. It's like someone it's like going to that boxing gym that you go to when you need to like break off and you're actually, going in the ring.
Yeah.
It feels like you just took a solid haymaker to the chest kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The air kind of goes out of you. That right there. He reaches up and taps the mark. Make sure you never end up on the bad end of that. Because that's how I find my prey.
Good to know.
Hmm.
If I see any more, I'll I don't know that I'll actively try and hinder them in any way, but if any more of them come at me with a baseball bat, you can be sure I'm going to help you out.
I do prefer the thrill of my own hunts. So it's nice to have a trophy gift wrapped every now and again. You're a smart, strong lad. Tell you what. He reaches into the pocket of his suit, pulls out a card that is singed and smoking on the edges, and tucks it into your pocket. If you ever hoping to learn a couple of things about hunting down prey, things on the darker side of the canal, come give me a call. Always use another member of my wild hunt. But now, if you'll excuse me, I'm a bit peckish, and I don't imagine you want to watch.
I'll take my leave, and he's just gonna do a little 2-finger salute, turn right around, put his hat back on, and start walking away moderately briskly.
As you're walking away, you hear a loud
On the bright side, I'm getting a lot of compliments today. Just like a little smirk, and then walks back to meet up with his friends.
You get back to the boat, and your friends are there planning, and y'all look up to see Mort looking mortified, but somewhat self-pleased.
Everything go all right?
Everything good?
Yeah.
You don't sound
In
convinced.
one piece, that is nice.
Yeah, I count my blessings on that every day.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we have a general idea. How are we going to do this?
And this is where we get into the planning and the engagement role. For those of you out there who may have never played Blades in the Dark, Blades in the Dark is very much of, we always knew what we were going to do kind of scene of like everything we're doing is planned to a certain extent. That's what the role of flashbacks and like is, which is why when you get into actually doing a job, you don't actually plan everything ahead of time. Otherwise, we might end up spending the entire session just making a plan just for it to go wrong immediately. Instead, what you do in this kind of situation is you choose a kind of plan, generally from a list of 6, and answer a key question about it. And then you dive right into the action. And what happens, happens. And it comes down to the matter of the dice, the role play, and the flashbacks. Flashbacks, especially with this group, given that we do have a spider amongst them, a mastermind planner. in the form of Tristaro. So, what are we thinking? The 6 types of plan, again, are assault, which is to do violence to a target. In this case, it would be guns blazing, break down the door to the prison, cause a prison riot, probably, kind of situation. Deception, which is to lure, trick, or manipulate. Stealth, which is to trespass unseen. Occult, which is to engage a supernatural power. Or social, negotiate, bargain, or persuade. Technically, there is also transport, which kind of works here because it is to carry cargo or people through danger, which could be the plan, technically, for once.
I'm kind of the idea of we could do. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Crow would have told everyone about the furnaces and when they turn off. So we have an easy way out in that, or a little bit of a more unnatural way out if I want to look for ghost doors. But they turn off the furnaces for half an hour, so we could go through that way.
I'd be willing to do that. I think with the amount of work Crow put in, it would be very easy to do that part of the plan. I think that would lean more into occult. With like deception being the backup plan, since we have the badge, but that only gets one of us in versus we need all 4 of us in.
Well, I don't know what these furnaces look like or how big they are. But if you all are in through furnaces and I'm not able to, the badge is a good second option for specifically me.
Furnace then has both point of entry and point of exit.
I was not sure if we wanted to enter and exit. It would mean a very quick piece of work if we have to use it for both the entrance and the exit.
You would know also, Crow, that using ghost doors is tricky because it's literally passing through the ghost field in a way.
Yeah.
And that using the same ghost door twice would come with a substantial risk.
Yeah, so we could get in or out via a door, but not both, and not easily. But if we got in a different way, it would not be as rough to take the furnace out, I think.
Parker, we can't hear you.
Weird. Can you now?
Yes.
Okay. So alternatively, we could take the furnace in and then take the door out, but either way, probably should only use one for each of those. That part's not a bad plan if we take the furnace in with respect to, and kind of just looks up at Mort. A large fellow here who could probably utilize the badge. Between the 2 sets of keys, provided he has one and we have the other set, just in case we run into different doors. So suddenly, not so bad. The other issue is then finding, but it sounds like we are going through means of deception, but also to some extent stealth, but also occult.
I do have a fine cover identity. We could say I'm an inspector of sort. I need to interview a certain prisoner to follow up some kind of case. Considering we're trying to release a serial killer, a lot of murders happening around Dustfall. I need to know more. Need to talk. I'll basically Silence of the Lambs it. Just kind of talk to Skag and figure out what someone in their position would do. And Mort could just be the guard who I've contracted to do this for me. Makes it a little bit easier for you two to get inside.
So, for my clarification, are we thinking 2 points of infiltration, 1 stealth with Crow and Asher going down the furnace, and 1 deception with Mort and Tristaro going in the front door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is completely viable. I will be doing 2 different engagement rolls then for each of these, is how it will work. So, with that, let us start with the engagement roll on I think we'll start with the engagement roll on the deception. And the reason I say that is because depending on how well you do on the engagement roll, and the deception may give a hand in favor to how well your friends are doing in their engagement roll in the stealth.
Yep.
So let me get everything booted up for that. The Murmur Venture Project going to do rolling engagement. We start with 1 die for sheer luck. Now, is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yes.
Yes.
You are doing a multifaceted infiltration plan trying to break maybe one of the most wanted people in all of Duskfall out of prison. In the Iron Hook prison, the most safely guarded jail cells in all of Duskfall. Yes. So you get a die for that. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? I am also going to take a die away because you're doing a double engagement roll going with multiple points of entry.
Fair.
So, does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Yes, because you're going down the furnace at the amount of time that they are. And, well, for the deception, I guess that's for the stealth. For the deception, also yes, though, because you're making use and utilization of a weakness in their employment infrastructure, shall we say. Now, is the target strong against this approach? I don't think so. It's a new one on them, I think. So not yet. Maybe after this. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight? Specifically looking at Mort and Tristaro. Do you have anyone that you think can provide aid or insight on this?
I don't think so. Not Mort.
I think Tristaro could reach out to their old partner, Marasi, and say, hey, we need dirt on any of the Iron Hook guards and like any of the prisoners. Have you done any past articles or investigations on them?
Okay. So you reach out to Marasi. You don't get a response.
Cool. That's fair.
Not with that backstory you gave me. Absolutely not.
Just like waiting outside the door. Come on. Fuck, I gotta be there in like 20 minutes. Come on.
All right. So, no. Are any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? You're currently at war with the Foghounds, so you automatically lose a die for that. Are there any other elements that you want to consider? This is a higher tier target than you, so I could take a die away for that. However, you have done enough planning and have gone out of your way to get a lot of stuff in the endeavor of getting in this, that I think the quality of the goods that you have acquired for this outweighs the tier difference between you and Iron Hook. So you're ending up with 1 die. That was a long roundabout way to say nothing changed.
All we need, baby. Just the 1 die.
That's how
One
Blades
die.
is. Let's go.
Oh!
6.
Let's go.
You are starting in a strong position.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I
I
love
love
this
this,
for
Ridiculous.
us.
guys.
That's amazing.
And so, with the front of the prison suddenly distracted with the inspection and entrance of a investigator looking for information on serial killing, a lot of their resources are suddenly tied up in making sure everything is up to speed and no one is watching the furnace. So, for our other friends, you start with 2 dice for sheer luck. because of your friends. Now, is this boulder daring? Again, yes. Is it overly contingent? Again, yes. Does it expose a vulnerability? The furnace. Correct. Are they strong against this approach? No. They literally haven't plugged this hole. So you're at 3 currently. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid? Not counting Rick.
I don't think so. My other buddy's a locksmith, and I don't think he's going to be able to identify the keys necessarily in this case, so.
I don't think that any of my spirit trafficking friends are necessarily going to be super useful here.
That is fair. You do lose a die because, again, the foghounds are interfering, as prominence by the fact that Bear was literally here. He's dead now, but he was here.
He was here.
Okay. Are there any other elements? I don't think so. Again, it's a roundabout way of saying you send up at the 2, but at least you have 2 dice.
Yeah.
So, you get 2 dice. Let's see how y'all are starting off. A 4. So y'all are starting off in a risky position. So not as good as your friends, but that's, to be fair, they're starting off from a socially advantageous position while you're trying to not be found. So, once more, I'm in this situation where you lot have split the party. At least you haven't split it 3 ways this time. It's just 2.
Yeah, 3 ways, 1 person in each way.
Right.
That was
1 person in each way. One of those people getting their shit kicked in again and again and again.
We're
again.
learning. We're learning.
We're learning.
Human punching bag wax, you know?
We go in groups now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't fully learned our lesson. We'll see after this.
I will
Pretty
say,
much.
I think Blades is a great system to let people split up as much as they want.
It is. It is. So, Wax and Mort. Mort, you take, as is ever your role, the bodyguard position, keeping your arms crossed and standing at attention. Wax, you are able to smooth talk your way up to the door. And as you kind of get up to that door and get in, it's like, all right. And I'm sorry, what was your name again, Inspector?
My name is Pierre Danst. I am here to inspect the prison on the will of the Emperor. May he live forever.
Okay. Do you have the paperwork for this? Fuck. Jerry, get me the 503s and probably the 107s too.
Not just the 503s. I need the 141s, the 307s, the 303s, and I'm going to need to inspect every prison cell. And along with that is actually come to my attention that there's a serial killer that you keep within your walls. I need to talk to. They have relevance to a current case I am investigating as well.
He kind of starts mumbling. There's the 303s, the 303s. Urinal duty? What do you need urinal duty for?
You obviously are very new to this job. You have not known how many prisoners have tried to escape through the bathroom.
Right. Look, been here 5 years, but you learn something new every day, I guess. All right, the 303s, the 147s, bring me just all of it. Just all of it. Come on. We're gonna be doing paperwork probably the rest of the day. Get Rebecca off her break. She's 5 minutes over on it anyway. God, pull Leroy off of cell block C.
No, fire Leroy. Fuck Leroy.
What did Leroy do?
He scuffed my boots at the bar last night. He doesn't deserve to work here.
Don't get Leroy then. We'll talk to Leroy later, maybe. Don't fire him yet. You don't have that authority. You don't have that authority, right?
Are you willing to go against the Emperor on that?
Don't bring Leroy. Mariah. Get Mariah. And Brandon, too. Yeah, get Mariah and Brandon. That's the ones. Okay. They'll be great at the paperwork. It'll be fine. Right. Okay, so I need you to. Right, wait. Do you have the paperwork for me? Sorry, I assume.
Oh, God, every fucking day. Okay, fine. And you just see like a briefcase, and it is just neatly organized with stacks and stacks of paperwork, and just starts piling onto the desk. So, I need you to fill this out. I need you to triplicate these 3 forms. I need you to initial here. I need you to.
Yep. Okay. I tell you what. You leave this with me. Go do your thing. We'll have the papers ready for you when you get back to have it all signed up and finished, okay?
Understood. And what's your name?
My name? Jenkins.
Excellent, Jenkins. And what's your name?
Jenkins?
Okay, good one. Make sure you said the same thing twice. And just writes down Jenkins onto a notepad.
Okay. All right. Cool. You can start with cell block D is through there. From there, you can get to C and A. B is on the other side, and solitary is on the far side of B. You're gonna want, well, he kind of looks at Mort. I was gonna say you probably want someone to take you across the yard, but you're probably fine.
Now, what do you mean by that?
That you seem like a large, well-built individual who can handle himself.
Are you telling me you're not able to secure your own yard?
We have guards out on the yard. That's not the issue. The issue is that, eyes, sometimes you can't have eyes everywhere with that many prisoners, and, better safe that, important individuals like you should have eyes on them at all times.
Winchester, keep that in mind. They're not that good at security here.
Understood. I'm gonna slam a hand down on the desk on top of the papers that were just laid in front of them. These can take a while sometimes. Don't wait up.
Right. Absolutely. Go right through there. Yep. Okay. Meanwhile, our other individuals are making their way down the furnace. And I need a prowl roll from the both of you, or potentially, if you want to do this as a group roll, where you both roll, and then potentially we take the highest between the two of you, and then whoever is leading it takes stress based on if someone else rolls low.
I have 1 die in prowl.
I have 2.
Do you want to do it as a group, or do you want to take point?
I'm easy either way. I don't know. I just don't want. I probably shouldn't take point though, because
because you've gotten stressed. Huh?
I have stress. I'm already a little stressed.
Yeah, we can just go down there.
Why don't we do this as a group roll, and you lead? You have no stress so far, right?
Nope, not at all.
Yep. Okay. So why don't you both give me a prowl roll? You both give me a prowl roll, and we take the highest. And if one of you rolls a 4 or a 5, then you'll take 1. If you roll a 1 through a 3, you take 2. It's fine.
Standard?
Risky standard. Okay, that's a 5.
Ooh.
And a 2. So you will take 3 stress overall, and we will take the 5. So there's some moments as you're kind of going down. There's a brief moment for you specifically, Crow, where you're on it, and then there's just and you slip about 6 feet straight down and catch yourself. And then you just remember that thought of Rick in your head: 30 feet straight down, 30 feet straight down. And you realize that coming from the roof, it's still 30 feet straight down the furnace.
30 feet straight down.
What are you saying?
Nothing.
Right.
For you, Asher, this is another day. This is just another day. You've climbed taller buildings with slicker in rain. So it's like, there's a brief moment you're like, because you get kind of close to the bottom. When you get close to the bottom, you're a bit too hands-on and the heat kind of singes your hand for a moment, but you're fine. But you two managed to make it down into the furnace room. Based on the blueprints that you were provided earlier by your wonderful spider, you know that the furnace room is pretty central to the whole prison. You're just outside the yard in B block currently. You know that on the other side of the wall from the furnace is the yard where the prisoners are let out to do their thing. And then on the other outside this room, you would enter into a guard's room, like a break room for guards. And then beyond that, B-wing.
And we know also that the solitary wing is on the other side of B, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know that the solitary wing is past B-wing in its own special little cell block of hell.
That is probably where we are going, yeah?
Yeah. So, would it make sense that then the easiest pathway was we'd have to get past the yard to B-wing to solitary?
Not you. You're theoretically already past the yard.
Okay.
Is the thing.
Fantastic.
You're on the other side of the yard from it. You have to get past the guard room on the other side of the furnace room into B-wing. Your friends have to get through the yard.
Perfect. So we're slightly ahead. Alright. So is there any for any doorways, is there any like windows into the break room so we can see or get an idea of how many people are in that room? No.
No.
It's not.
Windows are a safety hazard in prison.
Fair.
That's fair. Is the door closed to the
Yes.
to the break room?
The door is currently closed. I can tell you now that you can hear movement on the other side in the guard room, at least in the break room, which would make sense because, you know, they turn the furnace off for a certain amount of time and then someone's going to have to come in and turn it back on probably.
Right. Do we want to wait a beat? See who comes in to turn this on.
Turn it back on.
Well, maybe not that exactly, but you know what I mean. We do something. We knock them out. I'm not really a fan of the killing. We can just knock them out. Whoever they're closest to, we can take their gear, and then we can pretend to escort the other to be
Back to a cell.
Yeah, that's probably our best plan.
Works for me.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm going to say then if y'all are trying to, again, get the drop on someone like this, that's another prowl roll.
Okay, cool.
So, and again, you're in a risky position still. Standard effect, I would say. You can do it as do another group act. I don't know what y'all's stress looks like, so you tell me.
I'm at 3 now.
I'm at 5.
So, whoever would like, it's that's starting to get in range of whoever wants to lead it. Tell me.
Do you want me to take the point again? So you
You're
don't
able
get
to, that'd be good.
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect.
Okay, so you two each like post up on one side of the door and kind of silently wait. So give me a prowl roll from each of you.
Regular and risky.
Risky standard. Okay. All right, so you are again going to take 3 stress, Crow.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's racking it up.
And as the door begins to open, we're going to cut back over to our other friends who have now started to make their way across the yard. You've made it past the front desk and you're walking your way through the yard. And what I need from you two is I actually need a command roll for your intimidating presence of the full don't fuck with me vibe as you're trying to walk across the yard. the question is, you can do this individually for your individual don't fuck with me-ness, or you can do a group roll like I've been doing with the prowls.
I would like to do a group roll with Mort because I feel like Mort might have more command of presence. I think the way Dance at this point, because that's the identity they're taking on, is just allowing Mort to show the way, and just like Dance is just reminding, just stare them down, make sure don't break eye contact with anyone.
Do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yeah,
Who's taking the stress for this?
I can.
you can.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I could help out, but I could take it too. But you know, I also took stress just gathering information.
I only took a little before, so you can take it next time.
I got it.
Surprisingly, interacting with the demon, not the most stressful thing that's happened today.
Yeah, really weird.
So, why don't we get a command roll from each of you? I know, Tristaro, you have no dots in command. Devil's bargain for you. You get a dot in, you get a, not a dot, but a die. I'll throw you a die in for this, a bonus die. But no matter what, as you puff up your chest to try to like look a little more intimidating, someone in here recognizes you.
Can I ask, would it be figuring out where they recognize me from due to my background or due to the people I've associated with? I guess that's kind of the same thing. Yeah, no, I want to know who else I know in prison. Fuck it.
All right. So give
I
yourself
rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2. All right. So Mort, you are taking at least 2 stress. You can also
Great.
give me a command roll. Do you want to push yourself? Do you want a devil's bargain? What are you thinking? Do you want any bonus die?
What's the deal with pushing yourself again?
You take 2 stress.
Okay.
And you get a bonus die. Also, that should have been a controlled standard because you are still in a controlled position, but it's the same difference here.
Okay. I'm not gonna push myself because I already have to take 2 stress. I could maybe make a similar devil's bargain if somebody from my old unit happened to be in the prison.
Okay. I got an alternative for you.
Sure.
It's not someone from your unit. It is your former commander who tried to lead a coup.
Could this also be someone who recognizes me as well?
I'm not answering that question.
Boy.
Roll big. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay.
So controlled standard plus 1?
Control standard plus 1 die.
Okay. Oh, boy.
That is a 4 and a 2. Okay, that's better. So you'll take 3 stress total.
Okay.
All right. And as you're making your way kind of across the yard, large portion of it, most people don't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
However, you did get a 4, which means there's a consequence to your action, which you're fully able to resist if you like. The consequence being that you're so focused on making yourself intimidating that you don't notice it when the fist comes for your gut.
Oh. Oh boy. I would like to resist it.
Okay. Are you going to use your armor or are you going to just resist?
Yeah, I'm going to use armor.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
One fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right don't get you, then the left one will. Yeah, no, there is a fist that just comes barreling in, and you manage to like it hits you right dead in the armor, and so you're winded for a moment, but you're able to like shirk the worst of it off, and you look up into the face of your former commander, the very commander who ordered you to stand guard the night of the raid on your parents' house.
No.
Oh no.
Tristaro, you also look over, and you recognize this man as well. And he recognizes you. Because before he ended up an Iron Hook, he was on the run, following his failed former coup. Wow, that is a tongue twister. Following his failed former coup, he was on the run, and he needed a place to stay. So, for a while, in exchange for an extra room, he was a pusher for you.
Ooh, do I remember his name?
Donovan Hughes. Lieutenant Commander, former Lieutenant Commander Donovan Hughes.
I think I'm going to try and get risk control. And I'm going to I think we should probably take this one into the interrogation as well, and I'm going to try and pull Donovan in close and say, if you stick with us, we can help you out. Just go with it.
Okay. That's another command roll from Mort, I think.
Quick description of Donovan is...
Donovan is a stout man of decent stature. He was military muscled previously, and now his time in prison has only served to cause him to bulk more. So he's a larger man. He's not tall. He's not short. He's middle height, probably around 5'8"-ish.
Descendant from Scotland at all, just out of curiosity?
No, he is not a Scovelander. In
Okay.
fact, he is native Duskfall.
Gotcha. I'm going to add a bit of stress, just say, and just whisper to Donovan, Lieutenant Commander, if you would like to not be a part of the prison life, you should follow what we say.
Okay. Mort.
And give you an extra rest.
Yeah, you take a stress. Mort, you can make this roll with an extra die.
Great.
For commanding him.
Okay. Are we still controlled?
We've moved into the realm of risky now,
Fair enough.
I would say.
So risky standard +1?
Yep.
Yes.
That is a 6.
There we go.
The Lieutenant Commander Donovan Hughes, kind of with his fist still kind of locked in into Mort's stomach, almost stuck there, it seems like he hit a brick wall. Pauses for a moment. I don't understand what's going on here.
Is in your bed. This is whispered again, like in close. It's in your best interest to let us help you. I've failed you before, and I won't do it again.
I'm going to step up beside Mort and just say, Lieutenant Commander Donovan, excellent. You will be a very valued asset in this case. Come with us. And just kind of help grab the arm and push him.
You give me a sway roll. We'll come, and that's for not for Donovan, but for the general populace and the guards that are watching around. We're going to go back to our prowl roll from before with our two individuals waiting by the door as it opens, and two guards walk in, ready to seemingly work on the furnace. And as they do, the two of you leap from the shadows and kind of start to try to basically chokehold, sleeper hold both of these people to knock them out. The best here was a 4, so they are putting up a hell of a struggle, and both of them try to slam you against the wall, struggle. You're both free to resist, but otherwise you will each take 1 harm in the form of, I would say, minor concussion.
Yeah, I'll take that pain for right now.
You're not going to resist?
No. I have plans for my stress that I feel like it might be useful, okay?
Yeah,
All right.
I think it's 6. I also should not add anything to my stress.
Okay, so you will both take 1 level of harm. So keep in mind that when you roll, you'll be rolling with a less effect.
Yep.
It'll be 1 level lower of whatever I tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So the both of you kind of you do manage to eventually knock them out, but not without both taking some serious hits to the head as they slam you against the concrete walls, trying to knock you out. But both of them are knocked out. They're both about, since I know you're going to ask, they're both about standard build. And by standard build, I mean like similar to the men that you saw in the bar.
Okay.
Middle-aged men, about 5'10" to 6 feet tall, vaguely muscled, but not overly so. One of them has a bit of a gut, kind of a thing.
And to be clear, neither of them are Jeff, right?
Neither of them are Jeff.
Cool, just checking. I was about to feel real bad if one of them was.
No, you have not yet seen Jeff.
Okay, fingers crossed we don't. Cool. Close the door. Start to basically take their uniforms.
All right, so you start stripping them and passing them. Asher, these are too big for you. I'm telling you now. You're like rolling up the sleeves about 4 times on each of them, rolling up the pant legs. They're still a little big on you, Crow, but like more workable. Like 1 cuff and you're like, okay, I'm good.
I think we should start the furnace. Because if it isn't started, someone would come looking.
Yeah. You're right. Alright. I stoke up the furnace. At least make that get going.
Okay. That takes a few minutes.
Yeah.
You kind of get the furnace started. You're kind of like stand there for a second and you're like kind of look at each other. Do you know how this works? No. And then stare at it and you're like, you start just fiddling with dials until you hear a
Right. Didn't run down the place. I think we're doing great.
Perfect. Okay, so then from here through to the cell block, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can either attempt to keep me like this and kind of points up and down at the fact that this does not fit me. Or we can, if you want to, pretend like you're putting me back in my cell. If things go awry, I can always fade into the shadows for a hot minute, so.
Yeah, maybe that is better. 1, so that you have clothes you can move a little better in, and it does not look so oversized.
There we go. So I'm gonna change back, and just kind of like, I'm gonna put the clothes over their eyes, so it's like they're just sleeping. It's nice and dark here.
I thought you said you were gonna throw them in the furnace.
Oh, never mind. That's new
better.
plan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend like Crow probably tells me, why don't you throw them in?
Why don't we just burn them?
Oh, that's a much better idea. Then they have to run around naked for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Throw it all in the furnace.
Throw it in the furnace. You see the cloth start to shrivel, and for a moment, everything smells like burning wool. You kind of leave that, and you're able to start walking through B-wing. Now, in the endeavor of taking your friend by kind of as though they are a prisoner, Asher.
Yeah.
The unfortunate bearer of bad news that, as is liable to happen in a prison sometimes, you're getting wolf whistled as you pass through B-wing.
Damn it. Yep.
At least you would be until one of the other guards that is there, when one of the people comes up to try to do that, takes a cudgel and goes, "Fuck off!" and slams his cudgel into the fucking into his knuckles. Sorry.
Just kind of inclines the head.
Yeah, thank you.
And you start transporting Asher down the way until you get to the end of the hall that leads into the isolation wing. There is a locked door in front of it, and there seems to be a office window kind of to the side where you see an individual kind of flipping through paperwork on the other side. There's a solid, it's not glass, it's like that solid plastic, you know, the safety plastic or whatever, that's like, it's about an inch thick currently, and there's like a slit like this big at the bottom, and kind of like does not pay you any mind as they're like flipping through the papers.
Is it one of the doors we have a key to?
Don't know for now. Have to try.
Because the options are either using a key or saying that I have a request to put you in solitary and need to walk you through with the door person.
Try the keys and perhaps we bluff if it goes
Yeah.
wrong.
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay. For the keys, I'm gonna ask for a pure up and down fortune roll.
Fair.
And I'm going to ask,
Yeah.
either one of you can roll it, your choice, you know, devil's in the details. It is a 1-die fortune roll. Like any roll, you can push it, you can make a devil's bargain. If you want an extra die, it's up to you. And I'm gonna, on the face, I will tell you, if you get a 6, this key will open the door. If you get double 6s, which is a critical success, you not only have a key to the isolation cell, you have a key to Skag's cell, I would say. If you roll anything below a 6, you do not have the key to this door. This is a very difficult roll.
Understood.
Gotcha.
Absolutely no pressure on this roll.
No.
None whatsoever, especially with how the rolls have been going.
Mhm.
Do we want to keep going with this? I think so.
I mean, knock
yeah.
on wood, your rolls have been better than last time.
Yeah, that's
Last
fair.
time was bad.
Last time sucked.
Our session 0 was a wild time, y'all.
I love to lose a fight multiple times.
What
I was on
sort
fire.
of like devil's bargain could you pull here?
The devil's bargain here is that regardless of how you roll here, the person behind the desk is going to look up and they're going to remember your face.
Same devil's bargain if I roll?
It's the same devil's bargain regardless. They will look up and they will remember whoever's rolling's face.
Personally, I'm fine with that risk.
Yeah, it is a problem for me.
Okay, then how about I roll?
Okay.
Could I do a? Is there a possible flashback where I can give them aid with the blueprints and say, okay, chances are, based off these blueprints, this key might work, this key might work, this key might work.
Take 1 stress, give yourself an extra die.
Okay. So rolling 3 then. I'll
rolling
take the
3
devil's
dice.
bargain, yeah.
You'll take the devil's bargain that
Okay.
regardless, this person will remember your face.
It's fine.
You know
Rolling
it's not
3 dice.
Jeff, because Jeff probably doesn't remember your face either way.
Jeff was too drunk.
Too
Jeff
drunk.
is very drunk. Okay, all right. Fingers crossed, everyone.
3-1-1.
buddy!
Oh my goodness.
3-1-1.
That's
So
rough.
that is all fails. Anything 3 and below is a failure.
Yup.
So not only I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but not
No, you
only
don't. No, you don't.
does the key, none of the keys work, but you go to try the last key and you hear it stick as it snaps off in the lock. The person behind the desk looks at me. What the bloody hell did you do?
Very, very quietly, I'm going to say to Asher, I am sorry. And then Crow is going to like push her up against the wall and start like yelling like, what do you think you're doing? Putting things in locks. That's why you're coming here in the first place.
Playing along.
Interesting. Silas, make me. I think it's a command. I think it's a command roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this is very risky. It's not quite desperate, but it is risky standard. So you could push that to desperate great if you wanted.
And sorry, tell me again what pushing like.
So you could. So sorry. So pushing would allow you to take 2 stress to get an extra die. What I meant was trading position for effect.
For effect. I will. I think I will do that because I'm concussed presently. My current thing would be only limited. So to get it to standard, I will take desperate.
Okay, so give me a desperate standard, and make sure to mark yourself an experience point in resolve. There's a 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start, and the person behind the desk goes, hey, gentle with the prisoners. You gotta be gentle with the prisoners, remember? Especially the ones that go in isolation. Don't want to damage the merchandise.
Yeah, sorry. This one has been unruly.
Right. You just keep a handle on that anger of yours. Now I gotta try to fiddle with this lock that you apparently have fucked up, and they pull out like a couple of things and they start going over. The lock is busted and it's going to take them several minutes to get it open. In the meantime, let's look. Did you roll that sway roll for me already?
I did not. I want to check on position and effect for that.
It is a risky standard, so currently risky limited because you still have a bruised skull.
Yep. Mort, are you helping out at all, just out of curiosity, before I make this roll?
I'm forgetting what this roll was for.
This is to persuade everyone around us, like the prison guards on the street, that we are taking Donovan with us to help out with our investigation.
I mean, yeah, as much as I can. I'm definitely. I think I've ingratiated myself to Donovan as much as possible. And even though I'm pretty intimidated by them, I think I'm keeping my composure well enough to like make it convincing scene. I hope.
Okay. Go ahead and so for you, Mort, take a point of stress.
Okay.
And then you take an extra die on your sway roll here.
Cool. Oh, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
That's a 3 and a 1.
Oh, buddy.
Oh,
buddy. Love it when the plan falls apart. So, you gotta try to, make a bit of a scene, but as you get to the other side of the yard, one of the other guards is like, no, hold on, wait a second. No.
Are you planning on interfering with an investigation?
I'm up, down, I don't care what your investigation is. That man can't go with you right now.
Understandable. Guard, what's your name? I'm sure the Emperor would be interested to know why you are impeding a active investigation.
Active investigation into what?
Are you familiar with the count murders that have been happening along all of them, along the same lines? All of them pyro addicts, really enough. Some people have had their houses burned, but we found multiple stab wounds inside those houses. Almost like the arson investigations from the pyro have been active cover-ups. Of course, you don't seem like a
Maybe.
well-read man.
The call sign on, we found the murder weapon, and there was a call sign inscribed in it that matches the old unit of this here prisoner. So we have some questions.
Okay.
I understand this might be going over your head.
No. That's what I mean when I say that he can't go with you is that, I mean, his yard time's up anyway. He has to go back to his cell. You can just question him there.
Excellent. Is he going to B cell then?
Him? Fuck. Hold on. He starts flipping through a page. You're Donovan Hughes. Okay. Yeah. B72. I'll take him. And goes, starts reaching for Donovan.
You could just let us take him.
I'm gonna say make me a sway roll.
Yep.
It is starting at a desperate position and a limited effect.
Hey, I love a desperate position.
So go ahead and mark that experience. You're at a 0 effect right now because of your head wound. You need to, at minimum, push yourself just to increase your effect.
I'm gonna go ahead and push myself. Is there a devil's bargain I can do?
There is a devil's bargain here. And the devil's bargain is I start a clock. And the clock is your cover is blown. And I put it is a 4-tick clock, and I put 3 ticks in it.
Oh shit. Alright, yeah, no, I'd take that.
Oh my gosh.
We're
Okay.
we're gonna be in and out. It's fine. We're just gonna be
go
in and
so
out.
fast, just in and out.
Okay. Let me just mark that down real quick.
Yep.
And let me just tick that up 3 times. There we go. And I'm going to tell you, if you roll poorly on this, I can tell you what the consequence is. You can, of course, resist it, but...
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and give me a sway.
All right.
That is a 6.
Oh my goodness.
That is a 6. So he takes a breath.
A 6 and a 1.
6 and a 1. He takes a breath, sighs. You know what? I'm off in 15 minutes. I don't have time for this bullshit. Just go take him in. His cell is 3rd row down, B72. You'll know it's the right cell because it's across from the woman who's missing an eye with red hair.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your service. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just don't make my job any harder.
Understood. Winchester, let's go ahead and bring Mr. Donovan inside.
All right.
Nods his head and moves on.
So you bring Donovan inside and start making your way down B-Wing just in time to see Crow, dressed in the garb of a guard, pulling Asher off the wall after apparently having shoved them against it at the far end of the hallway.
Okay.
As you approach, Mort, you've got Commander Donovan, who's still very confused, kind of pulling him along. You get up to the door where you see that there's a person you can half see through the window because they're fiddling on the other side. Motherfucker. The fuck did you do? Kind of like fiddling with the door on the other side. And you have caught up to your companions.
I think while we're making our way down this hallway, I'm going to whisper in Donovan's ear, the one at the door is not with us. The other two are. We are going to break you out of here.
I'm going
Why?
to also.
Hopefully that's all you need to know. I owe you one.
I'm going to just throw in like, listen, my friend here can vouch for you. If that's the case, you and I have a history, but I will guarantee you will get out of here alive. And I give you a guarantee on that. And I would like to shake hands with him in a ghost contract.
And I looks at you. You're that pyro pusher.
Times have changed.
Have indeed.
Make me a sway roll. See if you can convince him.
What's my position on this too?
This one's risky standard. So for you, risky limited right now.
Yep.
And no bonus dice off the top of the head. What would you, I can't think of a good devil's bargain for this one. But you can push yourself if you want the extra die.
I can't push myself anymore, sadly. But for a devil's bargain, I could imagine as a devil's bargain, either it has to be something that, like, even if I fail, it happens. If like winner succeed or fail, the rest of the crew finds out and they end up harassing our boat over it. Like, his old crew thinks we took him prisoner on our boat, even if I just let him go.
You're saying for Donovan specifically, right?
Or
Yes,
actually, yeah. Or actually, we could add more heat to the clock. Just add more heat. People find out.
Yeah, I think that's the devil's bargain is here. You're getting an extra point of heat. Because Donovan doesn't have a crew that's together anymore, is the thing. It's a Four Winds coup that is broken and everyone's gone their own ways kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can take on the extra heat.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
All right, so extra heat. So give yourself an extra die and roll me, okay, a 5.
I'm playing risky with those ones.
There's another, yeah, you got another one on the other side, yeah.
All right. Caveat. You get me out of here. And all you said already, you also get me papers to disappear.
Done.
Shakes your hand.
And you see, like, these veins crawl up both of our arms and a mark appear on the shoulder of both of them.
Go ahead and describe the mark.
Oh god, I had a Pinterest. Let's do it's the image of a fractured sun, and you can see like each and every fracture. And at this point, there are about 15. You can see 15 fractures in the sun Mark made.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the kind of cracked sun, and he kind of looks at the mark and flexes his arm. Ugh.
It'll go away once the contract's complete. It's fine.
Go shit. Fine. Let's go. And at that point, you hear it, and the door opens, and the person on the other side is like, kind of opens it and like finally like gets it like and looks at. Who the fuck are you lot? Wait a minute, and like goes to close the door again, like in your face.
If possible, I'm gonna stick my foot. This is like the door that's right that I'm up against, correct?
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna just pretend to fall forward and keep the door going open.
Okay. Give me a finesse roll.
What's the situation? What's my position on this?
Yeah, your position here is risky standard.
Okay, cool.
Is there any way I could help?
You could push.
Pushing me.
Yeah, I could push you, yeah?
Continues with the
Give it a little more force. Maybe push the door back open a bit.
Yeah.
Sure. If you want to take a stress, you can give a help here.
Yeah, I will get myself to 7. Sure.
Okay.
It's going very well for me.
Yeah, this is par for the course, unfortunately. So I get the bonus?
You get a
Yeah.
bonus die.
Okay.
Yep,
cool.
risky standard, bonus die. Go ahead and give me the
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hey, nice knowing you all.
Okay.
I would like to
So-
resist that.
Fun.
The consequence here. Unfortunately, it is a failure. For those of you who don't know, it's double ones, which is
Yeah.
as close to a crit fail as you can get in this game, except that it would have to be double ones on a skill that you have no dots in.
On a 0, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that bad, but it is still very bad.
It's been nice
So-
knowing y'all.
The consequence here is that level 1 concussion is you just erase that and upgrade it to a level 2 concussion, or like an actual concussion as your head slams into the door.
Yeah.
You can resist that if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to resist it actually.
Okay, that is a prowess resist.
Okay. Just because we still have some stuff to do and therefore.
Yep. All right. So go ahead and give me a prowess. That is a 6. You take no
Oh.
stress.
That is when the 6 comes in.
That is, as you get slammed into the door, you kind of like see the door closing too fast. You're like, nope, and you like turn and take it on the shoulder and roll.
Whew.
For
Get to
2
clear
sessions,
stress.
that's Parker's first 6 that we've ever seen.
I don't think I roll 6s. Oh yeah, do I? When you
To
roll a
clear
critical,
stress.
Yeah, you have to roll 2 6s.
That's
Oh,
two
you draw-
sixes,
oh, you
that
draw-
way.
Clear stress if you
critical,
get
yeah.
critical.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Cool.
take that.
I
So-
love that. That's a cool feature.
Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. All right,
Good.
so you slam into the door as it kind of hits, and the person kind of, you hear it lock on the other side, and they kind of go back up to the window. What? Oh no, hold on. Y'all were here first. And kind of gestures to Silas and Asher, who's Silas. I assume you've retaken up the position of holding Asher as
Yeah.
though they are a prisoner.
Yeah.
Start with you two. Can I help you?
They were causing trouble out in the yard, and I was asked to take her back here.
Right. Kind of looks at you. Don't recognize you. So you're not a permanent solitary, so this is probably, what, day or 2 in the hole?
Yeah, 2.
Okay. Gonna need, he pulls out a sheet of paper, gonna need you to fill this out with prisoner ID number, prisoner name, cell number, and just pushes a pencil and a piece of paper across to you.
Yeah, give me a minute. Not very good at the writing.
Sure. Now, who the hell are you? Because none of y'all are in guard, like, none of y'all are in guards outfits, and there's one prisoner. Like, I don't know.
And you, Wax just takes like a really exasperated sigh, pulls out a badge, pulls out more paperwork, and just says, I am an inspector for the Emperor looking into a serial murder case. This is my associate Winchester. This is a consultant, Donovan, and we need to talk to a prisoner that is in isolation. Open the fucking door. I am sick and tired of doing this shit.
Okay, if you're going with that route, that is a command.
Is there a devil's bargain? I can take second. I'm being nice.
Cole is a glutton for the.
Is
Devil's
there a
bargain.
devil's bargain you can take? In this case, no, because she does not like you. She just does not like you already.
Oh God. Wax just says,
Or,
look.
no. I do have a devil's bargain. No matter how you roll, she's gonna call another guard over, whether it is to escort you or to get rid of you.
Again, what y'all don't see is Ashen fucking excited for this to go wrong.
We
Yeah, I'll
can
take
see our
that.
producer. Y'all can't see our producer.
I will take that devil's bargain, even if it's
Okay.
desperate limited.
Yep. It is it's not it's standard. It is desperate standard. However, it's limited for you because of your injury.
Yep. But I need that one die. Before I roll, is anyone helping out?
I think I can. I mean, story-wise, easily by just puffing out my chest a little bit,
Yeah.
and we're on a strict time frame here,
Mm-hmm.
and you've held us up enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give me an extra die.
And just to hone this in, I'm going to look at the guard and just say, and what's your name, by the way? I rolled a 2. Oh, wait, no, I'm supposed to roll another die. Hold up.
You were supposed to roll another die, so give me another die. It's a
4.
Okay.
Hey, okay.
Kind of looks at you. Maria.
Excellent, Maria. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
let us do our job. You can go back to doing yours.
Yeah. Sure. Jeffrey?
Oh, fuck.
Jeffrey, come here, please. And calls a large, recognizable man, at least for Asher, over from the other side of B-Wing. Jeffrey, these individuals need an escort through isolation in order to do a inspection. So please, if you would be so kind, to see them through and make sure to see them out after. And that is your consequence. Not only is on top of it being another guard, it's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey complicates so many things.
I think having been told about Asher's night, Crow would put himself between, as he's doing the paperwork, put himself between Jeffrey and Asher,
Right.
and while interrogating her.
Asher also pulls up, has a bit of a hood, just kind of pulls that up, and is just very much watching this door right now. This is a very interesting door in front of me.
With the paperwork falsified and Jeffrey called over, he's kind of standing there. He looks a little worse for wear, dark bags under his eyes, nose is a bit red. He looks like he might have been crying again. The door does open and you are let into solitary isolation.
Okay, cool.
This is the most brutalist, and I mean that in the architectural term, section of the prison you have seen so far, and maybe the most brutalist section of Doskfall you've ever seen. It is stark, square concrete, unpainted, washed clean, with doors made of solid metal with rivets and slits through the top. You don't know which one has skag in it, but there is not a lot of them.
I presume at least one of them is empty, yeah, for me to put Asher in?
Yeah, there's one that has an open door at the end.
So at least we know it's not that one.
Let's one down.
One down, many more to go. Right. That was close. Let's just start. So you said there's a slit so you can kind of take a peek in technically? It's probably
Yes,
a food slot basically.
Well, no, the food slot's at the bottom, but you see It can be opened and closed. The slit at the top does appear to be it being able to peer in. It is about 6 inches above your head, Asher.
Oh yeah, I'm going for the food slot instead to see if I can look through that. That's easier. But
So you start to move forward, and Jeffrey's like, "What the? Hey, no, get a handle on your prisoner."
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
continuing to face forward.
But we have to get right up on the cells to slide a thing open to peer in to see who it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we do have a vague description of this person that we're picking up. But
Yep. Shorter, stout, Scovelander. Probably has a knife on them and a bad attitude.
Oh, I have a way to signal this. Wax will just start whistling a old Scovelander folk song and see if anyone reacts to that.
Asher
Okay.
reacts being Scovelander. But that doesn't count.
Mhm.
Okay, so you start kind of whistling an old Scovelander folk song, and it takes like a moment, but like the third cell down on the left, there's there's a tinny kind of whistle that goes, who the fuck is whistling that shit?
And I look over at Mort and just say, Winchester, I found our person we need to consult. Jeff, open that locker for us.
Sure, he says, and kind of goes and he opens it up. And inside, as he opens the door, inside you see a short individual, masculine, kind of well-built, stout, about 5 feet tall. And as the door opens, as Jeff the door opens, it's not a knife per se. It is
goodness.
the leg of a bed that appears to have been broken off and then sharpened by being chewed on. That comes flying out of the cell and buries itself in Jeff's leg.
Woof. Before Jeff screams, I would like to put some slumber essence on his mouth and put him to sleep. He doesn't need to be here for this.
That is going to be a finesse roll.
Jeff needs a nap.
Jeff needs a nap. What kind of roll
Deserves
is
a
that?
nap.
Deserves a nap.
And what kind of roll is this?
Finesse or
Position effect.
position effect. I'm going to say Jeff's standard. So you don't need like, he's not like Mort size, so he doesn't need extra. So it's not limited. I'd say it's standard effect. Risky position.
Cool. Can I go for desperate great?
You can, which will then be desperate standard because of your injury.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is there a way we could have a flashback to perhaps talking about how easily he got drunk at the bar, and thus you would know how much to, or rather how difficult it was, so you would know the dosage of the sleeping thing to use?
I mean, probably.
If Asher wanted to help and take a point of stress, sure.
I think I can do it. I think
Okay.
I'm at a point where it's not that I have stress to spare, but I don't think any of the other things I would use stress for is going to be needed at this point. So I'm okay taking that stress to give you that.
Mm-hmm.
If you run into Jeff, very specifically Jeff.
Yep.
Here's what
If
you
you
need.
run very specifically, this is his tolerance.
So I ran into this guy, and his name is Jeff, and he works there. But on the off chance that we run into him, here's what you're gonna need. This is about the tolerance level that he takes. This is about the time he got sloshed, and then he continued after that. So
Oh Lord. Oh.
I'll take that stress to give him that.
Yeah. And like Wax is hearing this, just goes, oh. He really shouldn't be working in that prison, should he?
No.
No.
All right.
He's a therapist. He needs a new job.
So give me the roll.
All right, +1.
Plus
I'll
one
take
die.
a 4.
Okay, it's
Okay.
a 4. So you hit him, and as it does, he kind of lets out the consequence here is he lets out a loud enough as he goes down that the person at the desk could hear. If you want to try to resist that.
Yeah, I don't need them to know that what we're doing back here.
Okay.
I have investigation. You know how it goes.
Yeah. That
it's just-
is going to be a insight resistance.
Cool. I'll take the 2d6 to that. And yeah, I'll just roll it.
So take 1 stress.
Cool. That fills out my stress bar.
Okay. Oh, what? Like totally?
Entirely.
You
Like, all the
will
way
then take a quirk.
Excellent. I think I kind of know how this goes.
And you are out of commission for the rest of this job.
Excellent. I think
Uh,
as soon as are you okay if I think I have an idea how this works
Go
out.
ahead.
That fractured sun on the arm splits off and fractures more and covers up a part of Wax's face, chars off part of the beard, and you just hear them start muttering places and names that you would know within the you would know throughout the entire city and beyond that.
Okay. And as Tristaro kind of gets lost in reverie, his mind wandering from the current situation and him seemingly unable to snap out of it, at least for now, Jeff goes down silently and like a bolt out of the cell coming at lightning speed, a figure that you saw in the cell dashes out, pulls the knife out of Jeff's leg, stabs it into his throat and then into his chest. And then rips it out and spits on the body.
Right. Well, rest in peace, Jeff.
That's what you get for getting hair in my food. Anyway.
Right. Skag. I take it.
He's kind of still got the knife in his hand, like looking at each of you. Yeah. Who are you?
Is the other guard paying attention to us at all or no?
Not yet.
Cool. Right.
Echo sent us to get you.
Echo! Well, you know, had my 3 hots in a cot for a couple of months now, but do like to get back to work, I think. Suffice to say, they weren't very hot either. All the food they serve here is cold as hell.
Crow, what do you need to get us out of here?
As much brain space as I can manage. Quiet and no one coming in.
Right. Would it be so bad if we just locked ourselves up, or if we pretended we were locked up in the cell?
No, that was my plan was to put us in the cell I was going to take you to and
Perfect.
see if I can find the ghost door from there.
Let's do that.
I'll get this one, and I grab Wax and I throw him over my shoulder.
Thank you.
Okay. What are you doing with Jeff's body?
Also pulling it into the cell with us.
Okay. So you one arm around Donovan, one arm holding Tristaro over your shoulder, and then using your legs, you start kicking Jeff's body into the cell.
How similar are Skag and Jeff in in stature?
Skag and Jeff?
Yes.
Jeff is a little taller than Skag. Like Jeff is, I described before, about 5'7" larger man. So he's got about 7 inches on Skag. Quick point of reference that I just remembered of something about Skag's character. Are any of you blonde?
No.
No.
No, I didn't think so. I was like red hair, black hair, or purplish black hair, and brown hair. So, yeah, okay. Just point of reference for a quirk of Skag's. All right, so you pull Jeff's body into the cell and kind of start getting Crow.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I am going to sort of like set myself up as best I can, and attempt to use the ghost field to find a ghost door for us to get out of here.
Okay, so you start trying to attune and push into the ghost field. This is going to be an attune roll. Iron Hook Prison is ancient. It has been here almost as long as Doskfall itself and has been broken down and rebuilt in as many times. there is times where there have been doors that the memory still lingers here. Your effect here is, this is risky standard, I would say. You could elevate that if did you bring the ghost key?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I would actually say you're actually in a standard great position currently, which is honestly about as good as it get. You could push it desperate extreme if you really wanted. But you are going to be probing the ether and the ghost field for any viable exit that used to exist around here.
Okay.
So that is an attune roll at standard great. Again, you can push to desperate extreme. Do you want to push yourself or accept a devil's bargain?
What is the devil's bargain? I'm always listening to this.
The devil's bargain is that you get the extra die. However, you attune yourself so thoroughly into the ghost field here that every lingering spirit that is left now knows you are here. Every tortured soul that died in prison, every lingering memory, every ghost knows you're here and starts heading your way.
I will take that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the attune roll then.
So you said risky,
Great.
great, but then
Yes.
standard because I am concussed.
Injured. Yep. So you could push it to desperate great if you wanted to trade effect for position.
I think while
Yes,
while
I will
Crow
do
is
that.
working on this, I feel like I can just kind of look to Skag and say, if you have any interest in actually disappearing, like in your persona being dead.
Jesus Christ!
Oh no.
We'll come back to that in a second. It's a 1, 2, 3, everyone.
I suggest you make this man look like it is you.
Aye. Switch
In any-
clothes. You can leave the body here.
Do whatever you need to the body to make that believable.
Ah.
Yeah. But let's make it look like you so they think you died.
All right. Well, first step on that, pulls the machete-like knife he made out of table leg and just goes to town on Jeff's head. Like, just fucks up his face, destroys the whole thing, just making him unrecognizable. All right. Next thing next. Anyone got a blade? Like an actual blade?
Asher would have had a knife.
Mort
Thank
feels
you.
bad for
And just
even
puts it in a
suggesting
pocket.
this. So.
It takes the knife, looks at it. Thank you. Does anyone have a larger blade? And just keeps your knife.
Well, no, especially not now.
Like, just something with a decent size on it and a heft.
See, we carry Mort for heft.
Looks at Mort.
I was imagining I brought a. Yeah. I'm imagining a Crocodile Dundee size knife.
Great. Cut his legs off.
Do
Do I look like I have the upper body strength for this?
Okay. All right. He like looks at his friends to like
Mhm.
for anything.
So, yes.
I was gonna say, Wax was muttering about shipping times and when certain boats are going to appear on the docks.
Wax is out of commission.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and our lovely Crow is currently busy.
So I'll look at Asher and just like,
I think we have to do it.
all right,
It's part of the
and
deal.
I'll hack away, albeit reluctantly.
Okay. So you start just hacking away. The combination of the psychic energy going out into the ghost field and the blood spilled on the floor. Here is what happens. A door does open for you. I will tell you that, Crow. A door does open for you, and ghosts begin pouring out of it all around you. I want make sure I'm getting resolve resistance rolls from everyone.
Cool.
It's a 5.
5, 5, 4, 5.
Very
So
tempted to be
everyone
like,
takes
"Whoa."
everyone takes 1 stress. I didn't need it from Tristaro. Tristaro, you're already fucked. But every 5, 4, 5. So Parker, you take 2 stress,
Yep.
and everyone else takes 1.
Got 1
And-
block left. I'm almost there, y'all.
That's
Me too.
that is a
Go team.
that's a quirk for Mort.
That is a quirk for Mort, as Mort kind of is out of commission as the legs come off, kind of stares at the blood and keep in mind, when you get a quirk, clear all your stress. By the way, it's all gone now. You're stress free. You just can't do anything, and you have a quirk now. We can discuss that after this, but the door is open. And for
Donovan. Sorry, I'm thinking.
Donovan's still here. He's
Good.
just fucking he's a little traumatized now by everything that's been
Perfect.
happening.
I go, slap him in the face. You, I need you to take care of him. And I point at both Mort and Tristaro, who are just out of it. I'm like, I need you to take those with me if you want to get the hell out of here.
Okay, and he just takes the order. The door is open,
Go.
and you are able to get out through it.
Perfect.
And for the sake of expediency, roll into a prepared gondola in the river that Tristaro would have had the mindset to put ahead of time to get you back to your boat. Skag, as soon as you hit the canal, is gone.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just hits the water, fucking disappears. You manage to get Donovan to shore, and he, as soon as he's sees that he's out and free, he's he locks eyes with Tristaro. Is like, I'll be back for those papers within the week, and just fucking bolts. The rest of you are able to make it back to your hideaway. Getting to the dead drop after kind of cleaning yourselves up and bringing Tristaro and Mort back to themselves for a while. You're able to get the payment. 10 coin in full. And a note that says, keep the bone whistle. Call me if you need me. So now we go into the payment / downtime portion. And we are going to do this as quickly as, we got 20 minutes left. So it's enough time, but we're going to make it work. So to start downtime, we start with the payoff. You got paid 10 coin across the board to be split as you prefer. So how are y'all thinking?
I think we're full on crew coin, right?
Your crew sheet is currently full, so you would have to find a way to split it between y'all. So 10 coin to divide evenly amongst you, which is impossible. However, there's a fair chance you might end up spending a little of that extra coin to offset some things here when we get into the downtime entanglements phase. So why don't I'm going to say give each of yourselves 2 coin, and I'm going to hold 2 coin in reserve. Technically, it goes over the line, but I imagine y'all are going to spend it here in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go into the...
I was going to say, I'd probably give one of my coins to Mort and just say, thank you for getting me out of there. Because I don't know what happened.
So I would take that coin and one of my coin and give it to Donovan. Get yourself out of here. get yourself put together and disappear however you please.
Okay. So, with the heat, let's start. Was this a smooth and quiet operation with low exposure? No.
No.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Was
What
this
do you mean? We made a perfectly good stealthy break. We
Lean.
lied.
Parker
Was
and I
this-
didn't roll 4 1s in a row.
Oh
What are you
my
talking
goodness.
about?
Of course not.
was this contained with standard exposure? I would say it was until the end.
Sorry about
Yeah.
the ghosts.
Only one guard died.
And it was
One
only
guard-
death.
we
His
haven't
life
even-
is miserable.
We haven't even
Jeff.
gotten to the adding heat for dead people yet.
Oh,
Um,
well.
I would call this, I'm going to cut the difference between contained and loud and chaotic because it wasn't quite either and say it's 3 heat. Add a heat for that devil's bargain. We're at 4 heat. Add a heat for a high profile, well-connected target. Add a heat if it happened on hostile turf and wasn't hostile before, technically. It's Iron Hook. It's not technically, it's neutral turf for everyone. Add a heat if you're at war with another faction,
No.
which you are for the Foghounds. Add a heat. Add 2 heat if killing was involved.
I think we were wanted at war.
5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. 8.
Yeah.
1, 2. Skag is the one that killed him. That is true.
But the
That
wording
is
is
valid.
if killing was involved. It does not necessarily mean if we killed someone.
You went to rescue Skag. I hate to tell you, you weren't getting out of this with no one dying if you brought an extra person in there, which unfortunately did happen. So we got 6, 7, 8 heat. So you are now wanted level 1, and you have 2 heat. Y'all
Love it.
made a reputation on that one.
Speed run.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. You have no heat because once you get a wanted level, it clears all heat. So
Okay.
you're great. Lovely times.
Feels great.
This is great. Everything's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Now, entanglements. This is fun. This is based on your wanted level. At wanted level is the number of dice I roll, is the thing. So if your wanted still been 0, it would have been 2 dice, take the lower. But you have, and you currently have 0 heat. So, and that dictates which table I roll on. So why don't we go ahead and roll just a nice little fortune roll, 1 die. Let's see what goes wrong for you all. Is that a 2? This is appropriate, I think. Your entanglement is called gang trouble. One of your gangs or other cohorts or members causes trouble due to their flaw, and you could potentially lose reputation for it, which reminds me we need to go into the reputation payoff as well here in a sec. But yeah, I think the appropriate thing here is that unfortunately, after this past, with everything that's happened, Mort, you're a little haunted by what you saw in there, as are you, Tristaro. And the two of you take some time to get away and just get some drinks and commiserate. And, you know, you do it at your favorite local bar near where you usually shore up the boat. And unfortunately, everyone you know and respect is there. You can either save face. You can either save face by forfeiting some of the reputation, which will be equal to your tier plus 1, so it'll be 1 effectively at this point. You can forfeit 1 reputation, or you can take out reprisal on the people who would look down on you and probably gain a bad reputation with someone.
Oh goodness. I I could go either way on this.
Yeah, I'm not being called in either direction.
I love the idea of us just having the worst day and taking the time to make it even worse.
Yeah, I feel like would that mean taking the reputation hit? Because I feel like that's where I'm leaning as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just someone says the wrong thing and whacks the probably one of the weaker people of the bunch, just throws an elbow, catches the guy in the chin, and then gets punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And the already burnt side, like missing beard side of the face, and gets knocked to the floor. And then Mort just kind of steps in, maybe.
Yeah.
So you're going to take the reputation hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So -1 rep. So we'll factor that into how much rep you actually got, because you earned 2 rep by default from a score. So it goes down to 1. Was the score higher tier than you? Y'all are tier 0. Ironhook Prison is tier 4. You wonder why you took so much stress. So 5 reputation. And then it wasn't quick and quiet. No, nothing like that. So you take 5, you gain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite a reputation boost. Haven't quite gotten to the point to upgrade your tier, but you got well paid. And so now we will very quickly go into downtime activities. And for all of you, currently, you unfortunately are still at war with the Foghounds, which means you only get 1 downtime activity for free before you have to start paying coin for extras. So why don't we start with Mort. Mort, in your downtime activity, what would you like to do? You don't have to go reduce stress. You're just, kind of fucked up now.
That's the thing. And I also was able to shoo off any potential harm, so I don't need to heal anything. What would be another option, I guess? Or,
I've got a great option for you, if you'd be interested in taking it.
Sure.
A demon gave you a card recently.
Yes. I don't know how I forgot that happened. Yeah.
If you're interested in taking up his offer for him to teach you the dark arts of the hunt, that would be starting a long-term project to take tutelage from a demon.
I think Mort is intrigued by this very magical being that has appeared to him twice. I think it's worth a call.
Okay. So let me make this clock. Demonic tutelage of the hunt. We'll make this clock. And you now get to, in a long-term project, you get to make a roll. You get to choose a skill of your choice and say how you're using it towards that project. And then there's no downside to this. It's just depending on how well you roll is how many segments of the clock we fill in.
I think I'm gonna go looking for other people who are branded. I don't really know how I would begin to do that, but I think that's what's occupying my time, is like I'm intrigued by this this symbol that I saw on Bear, and I'm gonna go, as per the conversation I had, I'm gonna go look for more people who are marked for the hunt.
You're gonna go hunt them out.
Yeah.
I think that would be a hunt roll.
Okay, that's fair.
So give me it's just risky standard. There's again no consequence here, but that's almost the first task that you're kind of given here.
Yeah.
In a way. The card you are given does have an address for, it seems, based on your recollection, a boxing gym in Silkshore.
Okay. I guess I'll go prowl around there on my
Okay.
hunt in that neighborhood.
Give me a hunt roll.
Wow.
A 6. We fill in, on a 6, we fill in 3 segments of your clock.
Jeez.
So there you go. You're already a quarter of the way through your tutelage. As you, on this hunt, you eventually make your way into the, gym. It is actually abandoned, it seems, when you get in here, until you enter. And then as you enter, a low chuckle and laugh. Nice job, rookie. And he, you see, emerging on the boxing arena is the demon, and he kicks a guy in a chair out towards you, gagged, muffled, tied to the chair, the brand on his chest. You got good instincts. You're gonna do well, I think.
And just a lot of compliments today, but I'll take them.
Let's get started. And that is how you spend your downtime, is starting to learn from the hunt, the demonic personification of hunt itself.
That's
You technically can spend a coin if you would like an additional downtime. You could put more effort into that. You could train to get XP and skills, your choice. Or you could just take the one and say, call it good.
I think I'm good with one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Crow.
I am going to see if I can get my head injury healed.
Okay, so you're gonna go see a doctor.
Yes.
Luckily for you, your friends recently got close contact with a doctor recommended to them by the Dimmer sisters, in fact. So they send you over to see the doctor. He kind of looks at you. I see. Yeah, all right. I'll give it my best. Just hold still. He kind of starts working on you a little bit. So that's going to be, and we roll for him. That is a 4. So with a 4, fill in 2 recovery segments. So you need 2 more segments to heal your injury.
Where'd she go?
The healing recovery progress clock is next to the harm on the sheet, by the way.
Thank you.
Yep. So you can spend a coin if you want to do some more recovery. If you want to not have this for the next job, potentially.
Because it's a coin per square, right?
It's a coin per extra downtime. So if you spend a coin, you can do another recovery action.
I will do that. I was also going to spend a coin to go down to indulge my vice and get my stress down from 7.
Okay. So there is so here's the question, y'all. You have the 2 extra coin that's squirreled away right now in the bank that something has to be done with. Do y'all want to spend that on this, or do you want Silas to spend their coin? That's a group decision.
Mort would be more than happy to give a coin for that.
Asher's fine with that too.
Yeah, same.
They got
Okay.
Crow got
So we'll
away.
so Silas, don't touch your coin. We'll take 1 out of the vote. We'll do another roll for your recovery. See how that does. Nope, no notes. Okay. Fill in another 2 and actually clear it. Your harm is gone.
Oh, thank you very much.
And then if you want to do another activity to try to go reduce your stress, that would be another coin.
Yes, I will. I can spend my own for that. It's okay.
Okay. So go ahead and hit the indulge vice button for me and tell us a little bit about your vice.
Also, it won't let me undo this thing on the clock, so it's stuck in. There we go. Okay.
I got it. There's a little X. There's a little X in the lower left corner.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Crow lives in Six Towers anyway. But Crow is going to go to, I forget her name. The father's name who like runs the like ghost house in Six Towers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, and just going to go there. And I think part of it, as well as it being indulging in their vice, because their vice is weird. Z is also like aware that Z has gotten a lot of bad attention from spirits recently. And so this is kind of a balance in their own head of like, well, if I am here experiencing like positive attention with ghosts, it balances the bad attention of the 100 ghosts that followed me out to a door.
Excellent. All right, so go ahead and indulge vice. We'll see how much stress you get to clear. 2. You get to clear 2 stress.
Okay. Better than I was at. Certainly. Please let me hit this button. Thank you.
All right. Nothing else? You don't want to spend another coin to try to get rid of more stress, or?
Yeah, maybe I will spend my other one as well.
Okay. So just hit indulge vice again, and we'll call it 1.
Oh no.
The rolls are not in our favor at the end of this game, it would seem, unfortunately.
Oh.
It just means you'll have a little more stress going into the next job.
Yep.
A little less cash.
Yeah. For stress, by the way, on the sheet, it fills in up to whatever the last one you click is from left to right. So if you're going down, you just click the one under it, by the way.
That would be the problem I was having.
Yeah. All right. So then let's go over to Tristaro. Tristaro, you don't have to clear stress.
No,
What would you
fortunately,
like
I
to
don't.
do?
I think there's a couple ideas I want to do. Tristaro walks back into the boat and like lifts up a fake panel, and behind the fake panel is like a small little closet, and they go inside and they take their coin, drop into their stash basically, and from there they're going to rub their chin, realize half their beard is missing, and grab a razor and shave off the other half and just completely go clean and start pulling out a whole bunch of papers from the cabinets and start working on I still need to get Donovan cover identity sheets, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's my long-term project.
Okay. Cover for Donovan. We will start that clock for you, and go ahead and give me whatever you want to roll on that. And just gotta.
I think it's just like we see Tristaro like going through a whole bunch of different names, trying to come up with like possible cover identities, and writing a whole bunch of letters to various people. And I think it's going to be a consult roll.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a consort roll then.
Yep. And
6.
Oh.
Okay. It fills in
Ooh,
3
okay.
segments.
all right.
So you're halfway there.
I'm only halfway there.
Yep.
Uh,
That is your downtime unless you want to spend some extra coin.
I'm going to spend that last coin I have, and like at some point it's late into the night, Tristaro starts rubbing their head, remembers they have a bruised head, and just mutters, I need to get this lump checked out, and wanders on over to Dr. William Averamus.
Yep.
And says, fix me, motherfucker.
That
still have-
is.
We still have one of the group's coins that you could use, no?
Yeah, we do still have 1 group coin that is excess of your vault if you want to use that.
Does anyone else have any plans for that coin? I might still need mine, honestly.
I've got enough coin to cover my extra. So.
Okay.
All right. So
Sounds good.
we will burn that group coin, and he will roll and see how he does on healing you up. Okay, that is a 5. So heal 2 segments. 2
Excellent.
segments? Yep, heal 2 segments. I don't know how much you were already healed before.
0 earlier, so.
Gotcha.
All
Fair.
right, I will
All right,
spend
so
my last coin and say, "You sure you can't do anything about this, bud?"
he kind of like, fine. He pulls out a section of pills, jams them down your throat. Swallow. Slaps a cold press on there. Is like, hold this. And then we give that a good old tug. Yeah, nope, that's you're healed. He gives you the old ibuprofen and cold press treatment.
Hey.
And that is all she wrote on that. Okay. Anything else from you? Spending any more coin to do anything else?
I am broke.
Okay. Then let's go on down to Parker, aka Asher.
Yeah, so the free one that I can use, and I'm going to say it's because Asher has a minor concussion that this is her order of priorities. It's indulging vice first.
And she's going to go gamble. Okay.
She's going to go gamble. So...
she's going to go gamble with a minor concussion. This is great.
Yeah. Come on. Okay. Indulge. 5.
So you were clear 5 stress.
Oh, I'm doing better than I started today. This is exciting.
Okay. And then that's your free one. If you want to spend coin, you can go do some other things. So you go to the gambling hall and okay. Whew, I'm feeling better already.
Oh, I should probably do something about this absolutely dreadful headache. And by headache, we mean concussion. So we're going to, now that we're feeling better about life, we're going to go see the doctor.
Okay.
And pay a coin to get whatever healing we can do.
Let's roll the dice. Sorry, Tristaro, I used your sheet. 6. So I think that's on recovery. 6 is 3 segments.
Yeah.
So you still need 1 more.
Yeah, I'll pay 1 more coin to do it.
Okay. That's another 6. That'd be another 3 segments.
Oh my
so
goodness.
Cool.
you are healed. I
Love
think
that.
that means everyone here has no injuries left going into. Okay.
And only 3
Thank
stress.
goodness.
I'm doing better than I started today.
You are.
And I still have a coin. Life is great.
Life is good. Life is very good.
The job went
But-
terribly, but I feel so much better.
You know?
Right.
This job was stressful, but I had a fun time gambling. But with that, everything else that we will handle XP and things off screen. But to everyone who joined us for this premiere episode of Fire in the Dark, thank you very much for coming and watching, and thank you to all of our wonderful players. Let us go down the line. Everyone, can you tell us who you are, where we can find you, starting with John Downey?
Hello, I'm John Downey. I am a podcaster primarily, and I do TTRPG streams as well. I'm a co-founder of the Outlaws Network. So if you want to find me, the best places to do that are on my Twitter, which is @RealJohnDowney, and my network Twitch channel, where we do our TTRPG streams, where we stream Outlaws and Old Ones every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, at twitch.tv/The Outlaws Network.
All right, and Parker.
Hi, I'm Parker. Yeah, that's me. That's who I am. I don't know anymore. We're just so into Asher at this point that I'm just... where you can find me is on Twitch and Twitter, both the Pixie Parker. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, playing whatever the heck game I want, except Thursdays are always dating sims because Thursdays, because that suddenly makes a lot of sense with what happened with Jeff and me. So it all tracks. That's it. That's me.
Thank you very much. Rue.
Hello, my name is Rue. You can find me on Twitter as @IlanaKnight13 and essentially everywhere else as just Ilana Knight. I'm a game designer and a tabletop streamer. On top of this stream, this week I'm running a series of playtests of a game that I have on crowdfunding right now called Brick. And those will be over on Quintastic's channel on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. You can also catch me if you want to stop in and say hi. I'm the social media and community manager for Tabletail Games, which is a like a curated play session service. And we're running a giveaway right now to win a free private session with any of our GMs. So if you want to pop over to Tabletail, I'm also there.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Cole.
Hey there, y'all. I'm Cole, aka Ice Cold Brew. You can find me on all my socials through Ice Cold Brew. Tomorrow night, I will be continuing my stream of Elden Ring with my partner, Hilarity Art. You are welcome to come join us. We will be streaming around 9 p.m. EST. And then this Friday, I will actually be on the Greater Restoration channel doing a extra live stream from 5 p.m. EST till about 9 EST, where we will be playing Marigold's Wagon Wheel, and which is a hack of Stu Popeye Takuma Okada, if you've ever heard that game. And then, yeah, stick around. I'm going to be on another show next week as well, too. I don't know if I can actually say anything about that, so. Okay, cool. Yeah, excellent. May 4th. May 4th? May 3rd. 3rd. I know my days. May 3rd, I will also be on this channel playing a gumshoe hack of Sword of the Serpentine with Denari's Dozen with the wonderful Commander Pulsar as our GM and a whole bunch of other wonderful castmates, some who you've seen in chat today.
Fantastic. And I'm Jaimie Wolfe. I am an art and variety streamer. You can find me on my own channel, twitch.tv/Jaimie Wolfe, as well as on Twitter as Jaimie Wolfe Art. You can also usually find me over here playing Magic the Gathering and, of course, running Fire in the Dark. Beyond that, I will also be over on the Greater Restoration crew this Friday, playing in a game of Brandon, you're in it too, tell me. Expanse. The Expanse. I will be in a charity game of The Expanse over the Greater Restoration crew on the 29th. It will be at noon Central Time. Noon Central Time is what I remember. So check that out, y'all. But from all of us here at Fire in the Dark, we give a thank you for being here, as well as a thank you to our lovely producer, Brandon. Thank you for all that you do. Please, if you can, support the Huntsmen's Hydra and all of the incredible shows that they're making. But until next time, see you next. I can't do an outro, damn it. See you later, Scoundrels. Have a good night.
And that's how we close it. Oh my God.